Obviously, season 2016 was a record-breaking season for the football club to win its 4th premiership. As with all football clubs, people form an integral part of success, and an integral part of our success over the last 7 or 8 years has been the Allison family. So it gives me great pleasure today to invite the Allison family to unfurl the 2016 record-breaking premiership flag.
Glenn Allison, their
formerly known as GA to everybody around the club. Glenn Allison and his lovely wife and son there unfurling the 2016 premiership flag. So
yep,
he didn't stuff it up so he can stay.
Great honour for
let's go, boys.
Great honour for them, Kev. Great honour for Deer Park.
I'll just
and well done,
grab Glenn for one tick.
Yep.
How'd that feel? That must be nice.
It was fantastic, Kevin. Great from the footy club to pick me. Great honour. You know, one of the greatest honours you can get at a footy club, really. And so proud for myself and the family. They support me, you know, fantastic through all this stuff.
Now, it's been a pretty good ride, hasn't it, the 5 or 6 years you've been involved in this footy club?
Oh, it's been a great ride. You know, starting from 2013, you know, when we won the A grade after 1994 by a point, you know, 40-odd points down during the second quarter. It's just an unbelievable that day. And, you know, some of the other wins have been, you know, by exceptional results, but you never expect them. You know, they're always good, but, you know, you never expect them. But, you know, today's, as I said, a fantastic honour for me and the family, and something we're really proud of. And we hope we've put our little bit in for not only the Deer Park Footy Club, but for the WRFL as well.
Yeah, no, I think that's certainly... this is your young bloke here, is it? What's your name?
Reese.
G'day, Reese. How you going? Do you bag for Deer Park?
Yes.
That's good. Who do you bag for in the AFL?
Kangas.
The Kangaroos. Good on you, mate. Well done today. Good work with the flag. Did a good job. Good on you, Glenn. Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, mate.
Great work, Kevin Hillier there, speaking with Mark McGoldrick first, the president of Deer Park, and then Glenn Allison and young Reese Allison. Helen Allison there too, the mother and the wife of Glenn. Great honour, as I mentioned, to unfurl the 2016 Premiership flag. So good work by them. Now just quickly pick up the bench here with Pickup Altonas, because they're right in front of us. It looks like the big fella is going to start on the bench to start with. Is it big
Mark Paget?
Yes.
Tall Jay Patton.
Joshy McDonald's down there as well.
How do you see him performing today, Tom? Is he coming up from Division 2?
Look, I reckon it might take him a couple of games to get into it. I mean, he's an absolute class player, but he's one with the skill, with the football knowledge that can adjust pretty quickly to the next level of football, and I think he's going to be very good.
Just a quick reminder, guys, and for all those around the ground, tune in to our unbuffeted line, 90.1 FM around the ground. You'll be able to hear a unbuffeted, is that right? Unbuffeted broadcast. Uninterrupted.
I wouldn't ask Tomsy about technology.
But get on to 90.1 if you're around the ground, and you can stream this game live.
Quickly run through the umpires. Field umpires today: Phil Stone, Michael Westgarth, Michael Wilcox. Boundary: Robert Hill, Michael Dillon, Harrison Bradley, and in goals, Trevor Budge and Derek Polden.
So we're almost
Kelly Pickard's
ready
on
to
the
go.
bench too. Steve Kennedy being picked up straight away by one of the best taggers in the comp, young Ismail.
Well, we knew he was coming here almost as soon as we saw him in the Interleague last year. We've been looking forward to seeing him. And so it begins, the 2017 season. Rafferty and Greenhoff. Greenhoff won it down. Coming off the line was Abu Zaid. He affected the contest. It spills clear. Abu Zaid gets onto it again, spirals the ball quickly towards half forward. Up towards that Ballarat Road end that they are kicking to Altona. It was gathered by Williams. It comes out to Van Reet, and he moves across the line. Now off half back, kick towards half forward. McCarg, strong lead, takes the mark about 70 from goal, pops it into the pocket. Up they come at the front. Burns the crummer, left foot snap. It's curling back. It's not going to have the curl to get through. It's going to land in the square. It might be socket through. Trying to do something clever, and a toe poke sees Deer Park off to a flying start in its premiership defence. The goal kicker, David Gallagher, I believe, the first gamer from Shepparton, comes from the Goulburn Valley Football League, and he gets the Lions off to the perfect start. One straight 6-0. We've just ticked over a minute.
Dave Gallagher, a lot of experience there, very good footballer over the years, as you mentioned there, Pep, where he's come from in his past, so not young, but I'll tell you what, he's going to add some grunt and drive from that midfield. But what a great setup. Players that I just mentioned before, Van Reet over to Jake McKenzie out wide, who backed his teammate to win the ball. An absolute possession of football going forward into the hands of Crimea McCarg. So Deer Park looked very, very good in that passage of play from that half-back line.
Deer Park with the opening goal of the game. Rucks go at it, hit out, goes out to Robbins. Handball out wide, goes to Abu Zaid. He's put under pressure. Now it's picked up by Bruin. Now it's ball won back there by the Vikings. Ball with Magna Bosco, goes to half forward. Mark's taken by Manavon, then goes over to Lenardi, goes inside 50, but the fist came from the Lions defence, but the ball's still half forward though for the Vikings. Players on their hands and knees now. Deer Park have been able to get the spread out. Now they run down the other side. Ball goes to half forward. Mark taken by Greenhoff. Plays on. Short ball inside 50. There, and it goes to Potter. Now back inside 50. The Burns on the run. Goes towards goal. And there's the second of the afternoon for the Lions. Deer Park, 2 straight 12 lead. Altona yet to 0 points yet to score.
Too early to change my ladder?
I was just thinking that myself, Kev. Did I haven't picked at number 5 on the ladder at the end of the year? Well,
goodness me.
Could be wrong, Tomsy.
How good was that ball movement? How quick and good and slick was that ball movement?
Look, absolutely brilliant. And Jack Purton-Smith, then JPS off that half-back line. Once again, the distance he covers with the ball in hand, he had a bounce and just hit targets, and Shannon Burns away finished. Brilliant.
Greenhoff again won it cleanly down from the restart, then on hands and knees gave it out to Kennedy, who kicked the Vikings inside the 50. At the 4 was Cavallaro. It spills loose. It's at the foot of the pack. It'll be thrown up. Full forward for Altona.
Well, straight away, Altona have to just tighten up a little bit across their half-forward line. Don't allow Deer Park to have that run and carry. They can see the damage they can do if they get the ball in.
High tackle. Rafferty and Greenhoff both had a share of it. And then Greenhoff's tackle was a little bit overzealous, and it's a free kick. It is going to go the way of Sean Collis for Altona. He can have their first meaningful shot at goal.
He's given away that free kick, Scotty Grant, but geez, his work rate's high.
Yeah, very
Covered
fit.
a lot of ground. Very
fit. That's probably the fittest. And he's been on Collingwood's list for the last 3 years. That's the fittest I've seen him, Kev, I reckon.
Yeah, I agree. And he's running like it.
Collis to steady the nerves. It's a little left. It has missed just to the left of the post or behind. An opportunity goes begging early for Altona. They trail by 11 points after 4 minutes.
Bit of push and shove in behind the ball there. Timmy Quick and Trav Lenardi.
There might be a 50-metre penalty or downfield something, but Van Reet is marching to centre half back from the goal square.
That's good. They want to go on with a little bit. Altona have got to have a little bit of spice in this game. They've got to get into Deer Park a bit early if they can, physically.
The kick hung in the air. Gallagher had it punched away from him. It falls into the lap of Rhett King. He hooks a kick towards Bruin, dishes a hand pass inboard, and there's a high tackle. There's a bit of spice in this one. Altona trying to settle their nerves. Hand pass into Kennedy, inboard, the left kick into the forward pocket. He's looking for Shields. Tracks it to the boundary. It's good defence from the Lions. It'll be thrown in. About 50 out, left half forward.
Gee, even the forwards, the key forwards of Deer Park rolling high up the ground here. Potter, Jimmy Kondos, and Chrissy Stewart. Luxury to have Chris Stewart starting off in a forward pocket with Greenhoff starting as the number 1 ruckman.
So Rafferty got the hit out. Greenhoff gets the clearance though. Just a short ball into space. Gathered there by the Lions at half back. They're good running. There's good linkage there. Goes to Purton-Smith. Has a bounce. Runs past the Caravan. Goes inside 50 looking for McCarg in a 1-on-1 with Spiteri. Spiteri did the spoiling. Burns does the crumbing. Great tackle though by Spiteri. Fired up. Forces the stoppage, and now they have a throw in about 45 out from the Deer Park goal.
Yeah, good tackle, good physical pressure, and they've got to keep that pressure up, Altona.
So 5.5 minutes gone of the opening quarter. Umpire throws ball back in. Stewart works to the front, gets the hit out. Loose ball. Robbins gets their handball out of defensive 50 to Manavong. It's a good kick to the centre wing. Mark taken there by Collis. Comes back on his right foot, goes long at the inside 50. No one home, or is there? Almost there was Turnbull, but it's Deer Park is going to do the clearing, and the kick comes out to Trent Williams at right half back. Williams now goes back for the switch. Van Reet, defensive 50. Now a short ball down the middle, finds Bruin in some space. It's on the edge of the centre wicket there. Now goes to half forward, looking for Potter. Unable to take the mark. Well done there by the Vikings. Now the kick goes to centre wing, looking out there for Turnbull. Free kick's been paid, it's going away at Turnbull.
He was shoved out of it by Van Reet. It was a clear free kick on the far side of the ground. Pokes it up the wing. And another push out, this time against Quick. Gives it away, Collis will take it, hugged against the boundary line. Just forward of centre wing.
Just shows Altona cannot afford to have bad skills today. Deer Park have made them pay on the scoreboard twice already by a simple turnover down the Altona forward line.
They've got to take advantage of this breeze in the first quarter too.
Marley pumps them deep inside 50, they fly, it falls to the front. Cavallaro's underneath, it's hugged to him, it'll be balled up. 2 straight 12 to 1 behind. 7.5 minutes played of the opening term. And they've settled enough.
Padgett onto the ground now for the Vikings.
From the restart, Greenhoff had no opposition. He thumped it forward towards the boundary. Bruin was there trying to barge his way through. Was Shields as a free kick. He was pinged for it. Illegal disposal at left half back for the Lions, and Rhett King will take the free kick.
Talk pre-game about Altona's spread. Look, Deer Park, Jesus, they got so much confidence and belief in their teammates to win the football. They've spread before their teammates got the ball in their hand even.
Short to Summers, he went dangerously across the half-back flank. It bills out wide. Now a couple of hand passes. Summers again, the one who started the chain, gave the hand pass back, kick towards half forward, dropping at the knees. The umpire has paid the mark. And it is Kondos. He goes across the face of the 50. It's gathered by Bruin. Pokes the kick into the pocket, and finding space and taking the mark is Kane McKenzie. He plays on, sets it to the teeth of goal. Stewart flies, but getting in the way and taking a strong defensive mark was Padgett, who can relieve some pressure. Short into the pocket for Allen. Dishes a hand pass to Abuzidis at left half back. Hand pass too hot for Lunardi. It spills free. McDonald had it pushed away from him. Rather, Zani will take the free kick. Just backwards of the wing. Kicks towards half forward. Coming in, taking the mark was Turnbull. He wheels and goes quickly. Numbers with Deer Park. A quick finger on it there. And they will relieve the pressure. But the hand pass missed the target, diving in. And there's a whistle. It's a free kick. Altona putting their bodies on the line early and being rewarded by the umpire on more than one occasion. And the man to take the set shot, first gamer, Josh McDonald.
He's one we know will get inside. He's an inside footballer as well as a good outside footballer, but he put his head over the football. This will be a big goal for him and his team.
So he's angled to the left, about 30 metres out. It's a good-looking kick, but it just steered to the right. And they've got 2 behinds on the board to sit alongside Deer Park's 2 goals. They trail by 10 after almost 10 minutes.
Just seen the rotations in the ruck here for Deer Park. Greenoff's gone forward. Chrissy Stewart's still forward there. I'm just trying to work out who's taking the ruck from at the moment.
Deer Park with the huddle, half back as they look to kick in. Jason Kennedy with the duties, goes out wide, finds Gallagher, took a good mark, pushed as he took it. So they've been held up a little bit here. Have the Lions, chance for the Vikings defence to push back. So Gallagher looking for options, forced to go long down the line. Goes in the Stewart direction, post with the fist, but it goes to Summers, a little mongrel kick into the middle, might come off, no bouncing ball, didn't help Bruin, but it goes to half forward, McCarg, kicks it to the top of the goal square, Kondos in a one-on-one, but well done there by the Vikings defence though, but Kondos follows up with a beautiful tap from Greenhoff, but Kondos' kick goes across the face of goal, and we'll have a throw-in the right forward pocket.
Good defence here by Nathan Leslie there for Altona, good work.
So 11 minutes gone, opening quarter, 10-point lead to the Lions as the umpire throws the ball back in. Paget gets the hit out. Ismail does the roving. Snap towards goal, misses to the right side. So 1 point to the Lions. 2-1-13 Lions lead Altona, just 2 behinds. 11 minutes gone, opening quarter.
Well, they've started off very, very well, Deer Park. Just so impressed with their skill level. Even for this time of the year, you'd expect a couple of missed kicks and that, but they are hitting target after target going forward.
Magnabosco in the short sleeves for the first time in some time. He's turned it over. Ismail pokes it in. Greenhoff on a long lead, takes the mark, essentially unopposed, and he'll go back from 45 and kick the Lions third.
Probably not good enough there, Altona, and that's been the story so far for them up to this stage of the quarter, the 12-minute mark, where they've let Deer Park uncontested as a handball quickly off to McKenzie.
Comes off, McKenzie sets it long, but it's left all the way. A minor score, 2-2, plays 2 behinds. So a reprieve there, Tomsey, for the Vikings.
They've got to be switched on to Altona. Obviously, in that situation, they're going to try and look for Kane McKenzie or Jake McKenzie. Dan Reed, they're the ones who kicked the ball 50 plus.
Well, they used the breeze well. The kick went almost to halfway, but it had been turned over at half forward. Robbins is underneath. Rafferty was there. Now Kennedy's had a couple of good moments. Now to Paget. Hand pass over the top. Paget's going to get it back. Patrolling those centre circles. No one tackled him. He's too big. He puts the Vikings inside 50. Flying from the side there, but it's post. He couldn't take the mark. Williams can relieve some pressure. He sets the Lions down the outer side to Bruin, who's finding space regularly in the opening term. Kicks towards Shannon Burns, who takes the mark. 70 from goal. He's too far out. He pokes it into the pocket for Stewart. It's over his head. Onto it quickly. Trying to gather it inside the boundary was McCarg, but he couldn't do so. It'll be tossed back into play.
Just hanging in there at the moment, Altona. They are just hanging in there. I tell you, they've really got to dig deep for the remainder of this quarter to start with. Remember, they're not hitting the scoreboard. They've got to stop Deer Park from playing so much attacking football. Slow the game down a little bit if they have to.
So Paget and Stewart. Paget shoved out by Stewart. Knocked over there was King trying to barge through.
Don't know if it's coincidence, boys, but interesting that Mark Bullen spent some time at the Bulldogs, and they're playing a very similar sort of fashion down that wing that the way the Bulldogs were doing last night against the Swans.
Yeah. It's just very quick ball movement.
Quick ball movement, man overlapping and getting the run on.
From the ruck contest, H had a share of it. The kick spills out towards half-back for Altona. It's still free. Now the Lions come up with it, controlling the boundary line. Burns, brilliant. He shanked the kick, maybe intentionally to the hot spot. Greenhoff can't get there in time. Rafferty closes it down. He marks, goes across the face of goal, finds Magnabosco.
Burton Smith there before, I think, Pep out there. They look very similar hairdos these days.
So Magnabosco forced to go very short, finds Allen. He's just outside defensive 50. He's in front of the Altona interchange bench. Another short ball. Don't know who to. He's picked out Van Reet. Wasn't a great kick. So Van Reet forced to play on now. Goes inside 50 to the pocket looking for Stewart. Second man in line, couldn't quite do it. But followed up with a beautiful tackle on Magnabosco. We're going to have a ball up about 40 out from the Lions' goal.
Yeah, no, that's where they let themselves down, Altona. But look, full credit to Deer Park. They're filling in the gaps and the body pressure they're applying at the moment. Altona really fumbly.
Stewart with the hit out. So Vikings get the clearance, goes to halfback Comatai in a battle with Turnbull. Now it's picked up by McDonald. Free kick's been paid. Going against Comatai. Free kick to McDonald, left halfback.
Got to have the ball when you tackle them, son.
He goes to switch to the outer side. Mark's taken out there by Allen. Plays on, short ball looking for Lonardi. Hits him on the chest. They're at centre wing now. Another short ball inboard. It's a good build-up so far. Turnbull at the mark. Centre half forward now. This is the kick they got to get right. Goes inside 50 looking for Steve Kennedy. Got his hands to it. Probably should have taken the mark, but does his own crumbing. Runs towards goal. Snaps around the body. He's put it through.
They needed that.
First one of the season for the Vikings goes to Steve Kennedy as the Vikings now trail by 6 points. It's 2-2-14. Deer Park. Altona 1-2-8.
A good move. They got Steve Kennedy forward there. That's where they're falling down across their half-forward line, and Deer Park obviously feeding back as lightning quick and with great position. But Steve Kennedy's down there. Not just got the first goal, but it creates a bit of a headache now for the Deer Park defenders. they've got to try and get the right matchup for him at the moment. They've got one of the young guys, a young tester on him, so it'll be interesting if they continue to go with that one.
Also a bit of a test of Sadi Ghazi leaving Posty down back, whether he leaves him down there or pushes him up forward to give him some penetration up forward.
Cometai against the large Paget wins the tap, giving a go in the ruck. Gallagher sharked it, was tackled, tried to barge through. It's lucky to be balled up. How's the wind out there, Kev, if you're there?
Yeah, same as it was early game, still about 3 or 4 goals.
Yep. From the restart, reaching over the top was Paget and fell in the lap of Shields. He kicks to full forward. Kennedy's there. He was caught at the front. Fisted away well by Tester for the Lions. Finds the sanctuary of the boundary line.
Well done, young Tester there. That was good. Steve Kennedy probably not the strongest overhead mark, but I tell you what, he's still got that experience and bit of height advantage on the young fella, but the young Tester done a great job there.
So Cometai and Paget do battle. Cometai won his way to the front, fisted it down as a free kick. It will go the Lions' way. Just nudged out of it by Mark Paget in the initial ruck contest. Well, the hand pass went back. Almost missed the target. The Lions close to the boundary line. Hand pass comes out to Kennedy. Still with Kennedy. Left half back for the Lions. Kicks it out wide. It's close to the boundary. McDonald fisted it away. It's out of play.
He's been involved in a bit of the action so far, young Josh McDonald. It's good to see. As I mentioned, he's one that can make that make the change from a Division 2 club up to a Division 1 and play good football.
Grabbed straight out of the ruck by Cometai, dished it off, then laid the tackle. Burns got the hand pass inboard. Not enough to get away into any meaningful space. Burns does get it back, and now to Van Reet. Some hard runners. Summers coming off half back, couldn't collect it cleanly, and then he was taken in a tackle by a couple of Vikings. On the right edge of the centre square to be balled up.
They're still allowing Deer Park to have the outside runners there, you know, peeling off, and just lucky that Lukey Summers fumbled a bit there.
Slapped it over the top. Out to Summers. Now the kick forward. Van Reet's found space yet again. No surprises there. He was held up though. About 70 metres out. He sets it up towards the hot spot. Up they fly. Stewart at the back couldn't take the mark. Bring it down. The Crummers are Altonas. Abu Zeid was brought to ground. McCarg dives in, gets the hand pass away. Kick out there by Kondos towards the goal. Oh, through it did. It carried just far enough. And the defensive lunge couldn't get a finger on it. 3 opening quarter goals so far for the Lions. They lead Altona 3-2, 20 to 1-2-8. Almost 19 gone at the first term.
Well, I'll take credit to what you said before the game, Willow, about Altona and their spread. There's 2 parts of spreading. One is with the football in the hands, and the other part is the defensive
That's
side.
the hardest bit is the defensive side.
The hardest part, and they're just not working hard enough out wide with the Deer Park spread. They're just allowing Van Reet, now they let them on the outside of the football and they get it. They're going to cause great damage.
So from the restart, Burns gets the clearance, goes inside 50, looking for Stewart. One hand to it. The spoil came from the Vikings defence now. Picked up there, left, right, half back. Kick goes to the centre wing, but it's chopped off there by Tester for the Lions. He goes inboard, finds Jake McKenzie, gets the handball. No, keeps running. Oh, kicked it into the back of Shannon Burns. He followed it up. Now the ball's at half forward for the Lions. Picked up by Patton now. Ball with Lenardi. Handball over the top. Goes to Abu Zeid. Now from Turnbull, the kick inside 50. Looking for Robbins. 1-2 grabs, takes the mark. And they'll have a shot pretty much directly in front from about 40 metres out.
It's the names you want to hear from your Altona supporter, isn't it?
Yep.
Kennedy, Lenardi, Turnbull, Robbins.
Yep, spot on, Kev. I was just thinking that then, and you know they're playing their cards right at the moment. Altona, they're rotating your Robbins and Kennedys through the midfield, up forward, not trying to rotate them on and off the bench, which is good. They're your match winners.
So Robbins with his left boot goes towards goal. He's put it through the middle. Second of the afternoon to the Vikings as the lead's cut back to 6 points again. 2-2-14 to 3-2-20 Lions lead.
Just nothing fancy about Altona at the moment, but they're, you know, on the scoreboard, they've pegged them back. Deer Park have played an absolute classic game of football so far, brand of football so far in its first 20-odd minutes. But, you know, the 2 goals that they've got on the board so far, Altona, they've been through good marks up forward, and 2 of their key players in Kennedy and Robbins. So they've just got to start winning out of the centre here too. Deer Park is smashing them in that midfield at the moment.
Need to be close enough with the Lions to kick with the breeze in the second term. Off the back, Lenardi turned, got away from Ismail, kicked it out the far side. It's gathered by Gallagher, snaps around the corner, turned over. Magna Bosco was swiftly onto that. Kicks the Vikings up to half forward. Cavallaro's onto it, gives the hand pass to Robbins. Centering ball looking for Rafferty, it missed him. Oh, McDonald ducked under the tackle, gave it to Abu Zaid. Kicks was a shank, it was a free kick. And it will go the way of the Vikings, I believe.
And Joshie McDonald, is it?
Not entirely sure. Yes, it will.
Yep.
He will take the free kick. Might have been caught high.
He's as a footballer, he's a pest. He upsets opposition more than any other young fella in this competition that I've known.
Geordie Mead-like.
Geordie Mead-like, and he'll do the same in Division 1, and he'll get a lot of free kicks.
The left boot stays true from Josh McDonald. He missed one earlier. He makes up for it here. And he levels the scores. 3-2-20 apiece after 22 minutes of the opening term.
Well, that was set up from Joel Magnabosco across that half-back line there. The intercept, great reading of the players. He does so well, Magnabosco.
Very clever.
You watched Josh last year at Interleague training with the Division 1 players when he was a Division 2 player last year. Tom, he fit in well with them easily enough, I would have thought?
Oh, yeah, definitely so. Look, he should have been playing First Division many years ago.
Yeah, I agree.
Thrown back up now. Greenhoff does the tackling. We'll get a secondary bounce.
And it's only because of his lines too.
Free kick for high. Lenardi with the free kick. Goes out down the middle. Mark's taken there by Turnbull. He's at centre half forward. Now goes inside 50. Need a marking option. Didi Park defence there in front though. Did well there. Gallagher, all fours. Couldn't do anything with it. Tester gets the clearance out there. Goes to Potter. Now, where's Bruin in space? Will they use him? No. It's just a shank kick into space now. Rafferty running onto it. Wrapped up in a tackle by Kondos on centre wing. He'll have the ball up.
Good play by the Altona player. They used his body cleverly.
He did, Trent Rafferty. He did. He spun back there. He knew McCarg was coming at him. Could have easily given away a free kick, but he spun with that tackle. It's good work. Just starting to lift their work rate a little bit here, Altona.
Screen off with the hit out. The Rafferty gets the clearance, just bangs at the half forward, one-on-one there. Oh, the mark's been taken beautifully there by Cavallaro. Moves on quickly, goes to full forward. They need a mark. Down there was Padgett, couldn't get his hands to it. Now it's picked up there by Malay. Ball still loose, those Van Riep, those going to do the clearing. Comes out, finds Summers. Quick handball. Now they're out of defence, here come the Lions. Now handball back inboard, Williams. He's got it. McKenzie out to Purton. Smith did well. Got around his opponent, goes inboard. It's over to Stewart. Purton Smith keeps running. Lenardi does the chasing. Good tackle there by Lenardi. Forces the turnover, doesn't he? Lenardi did well, picked it up and really into the crowd by Purton Smith. What a battle that was between Lenardi and Purton Smith. Brilliant stuff.
Brilliant stuff.
Might have played with each other at Werribee at one stage too, those two, I think.
So tossed back up, Potter with the left hand, gets it inside 50. Loose ball again, heaps of players around the ball, up, I'll come in, ball up. So 24 and a half minutes gone in the opening quarter. Scores level. So umpire restarts play, Potter with the hit out. McCarg tried to pick it up one-handed. Keeps going again, McCarg. Another pack, another ball up.
Tomsy, when Deer Park run with that half-back line, do they run like the Melbourne Storm back line, don't they?
They do. They run in just, that big line. Altona, they can...
Oh, clumsy.
It was. Josh
Rafferty. Free kick's gone to Potter. He'll kick from just outside 50. Might be trouble with the breeze against him.
He's a fair kick, Potts.
You just get the feeling, Kev, back to what you mentioned, if Altona can force Deer Park to play through that corridor a little bit more and force them into a mistake, because every time they've gone out wide, they just haven't been able to cover the Deer Park spread and run.
It just, they're allowed to use their speed too much when they let them go wide.
So Potter, bang on the 50, goes long. You're right, Kev, he's got a fair leg on him. He's put it straight through the middle. Deer Park, 4-2-26, lead Altona 3-2-20. 25 and a half minutes gone, opening quarter.
Well, straight away, Deer Park will be pretty happy with the new recruits. They picked up. Gallagher's kicked a goal, Potter's kicked a goal, and they've presented themselves very well already. So some good signs here for the Deer Park recruiting team. Again, they've done well, and the kids have been involved as well too. It's great to see for the Deer Park side.
An unfortunate goal from a free kick just as Altona were working themselves back into the game. 26 gone of this opening term. Probably only a few minutes left. Back in the middle, one down by Greenhoff. Off the back, there was Zani. Now they work it through Lenardi to Rafferty. Quick hands, kick to half forward, and in perfect space. It just fell in the lap of Turnbull. The kick wasn't great, but in the perfect spot.
He didn't mean that?
I don't think so. I don't think it wasn't his greatest kick. Turnbull now from just outside 50. He'll need to give it a roost. He sets sail, and it's to the right. A minor score.
Just around the grounds, boys. Caroline Springs 3-3-21, Albion 2-7-19, and Werribee Districts 5-1-31, Wyndham a point.
So at the Ballarat Road end, Rodney Van Reet just awaiting the return of the footy.
How good a quarters Van Reet had?
He's had plenty of it.
Just racks him up, doesn't he? Possession after possession. And he does something with him. That's what I love about watching him play. Run and carry, but his kicking skills.
And he plays on from the defensive 50 run, almost to the defensive 50, and then it skews off the side of the boot.
Oh, no.
And Kennedy's going to put it straight back from whence it came.
For those of you watching live streaming, that wasn't part of the Melbourne Comedy Festival.
That is a beautiful kick inside 50.
Set up by Hale and Pace, otherwise known as Van Reet and Tom.
Now, anyone watching live streaming too, if I make a mistake, don't crucify me. You can see it live.
Oh no, they can have that one.
Got away with it for 14 years because you couldn't see. I could make things up, but I can't make things up anymore.
So Jordan Robbins, tight against the boundary.
He'll kick this.
Left forward pocket. He'll have to kick at 50. He's a left footer. Angle doesn't set up great for him. He struck it well. It's going to fall short. No, it bounced through.
Thank you, Tom.
The defenders missed it. And he puts the Vikings in front. 4-3-27 to 4-2-26. He just had a feeling he might kick that one.
No, I knew.
Jordan Robbins with his second. The Vikings by a point.
Nothing wrong with a bit of bullshit every now and then, I suppose. I tell you what, they've in past times, Altona would have dropped their heads a little bit with the power start that Deer Park got off to. But they've got the confidence in the Lenardis and Kennedys and Robbins and the senior players, and they've fought their way back into it. And what they're doing, they're bringing the younger brigade into the game as well.
So Padgett gets the hit out. There's the siren for quarter time here. John McLeod reserve. Scores reads Deer Park 4-2-20, trail Altona 4-3-27. So it's a 1 point lead.
Was the sense you got from the Altona huddle?
All right, now that you've dropped them of one premiership with Deer Park, they've 4. They'll come after it. Trust me, in this environment, give them every premiership they've got. Billy was a little bit critical of the boys in terms of not manning up and doing a little sort of downhill skiing. So there was a little bit of that came into it, but generally pretty happy. But obviously wants a bit more scoreboard pressure and wants them to chop out the Steve Kennedys of the world from getting too much of the pill.
Alrighty. So you heard it first from those boys out on the oval, and we're almost ready to get the second term underway. It's the Vikings by a point, 4-3 to 4-2. The Lions will now kick with the breeze. From the restart, Greenhoff jumped early, won it down, but it's gathered by Kennedy. Kicks towards half forward for Altona. Up they fly. Van Reet knocked it down to the front of the contest. Greenhoff lays a tackle. It spills free. Now Van Reet again. Runs off the back of the square. Kicks towards half forward. It's Magnabosco leading the way against Bruin. He's tracking it to the line. Bruin's just behind him, and neither can gather possession. It's over and out. It'll be thrown in.
Around the grounds, boys. Sunshine 8 points. Spotswood 1-2. So even at quarter time.
So from the throw-in on the far side of the ground, up they go. King had first hands to it at the bottom of the pack. Greenhoff goes in again. Gallagher's at the bottom of the pack. Another stoppage.
And another round the ground score, Caroline Springs 3-3-21, Albion 4-7-31. Couple of late goals there for Albion.
So from the bounce, Greenhoff knocked it down. Kennedy was there. Onto it was Robbins. Met solidly high, said the umpire. Win a free kick. Van Reet over Zallis. The hand pass comes off the back. Now through midfield. This is dangerous. It's turned over. Gathering it was McKenzie. Got the hand pass back. Greenhoff threw it onto the left. Kicks towards half forward. Up they fly. Magnabosco had it covered. He takes the mark. And he's got Abuzid across the face of 50. It's a dangerous kick. Stewart came up to meet it. Abuzid did brilliantly. Sold some candy. Got around McKenzie. Kick towards the wing. Lenardi creates some space in front of Quick and Marks. And they got out of trouble nicely there, the Vikings. Now into the middle of the ground, quickly running on. Oh, dangerous. Purton Smith laid the tackle, but it's okay. The kick towards half forward. There's some height there in defence. Oh, Cavallaro took a strong mark. A couple of juggles. He's wide out, 50 from goal. He'll have to kick from probably beyond the mark. And he can extend the Vikings' lead beyond 1 goal.
This will be a big goal. This will be a big lifter for him if they get this one.
He knows the breeze. He sets it at the right post. It's working. He's drilled it. What a goal. Elliot Cavallaro.
Oh, what a kick.
That was a magnificent effort from outside 50. 5-3-33 Altona. They stretch their lead to 7 points over Deer Park. 4-2-26, 2.5 gone of the second term.
Gee, they worked in numbers there, Altona. That tackle from Jack Purton Smith was fantastic, but they had the numbers there to mop up again and continue going forward. And great work from Lenardi again. Brett Shields is another one. They're involving each other into the game. Altona.
It's back in the middle. Greenhoff with the hit out. Kennedy for Altona can't pick it up though. Ball's just kicked off the ground towards the Lions goal. Bruin. He's wrapped up. Greenhoff down on all fours. Let's hope he's all right. Post gets the handball. Now they're out here, the Vikings, as they run through the middle of John McLeod reserve. Kick goes to half forward. Looking for Collis. Big fist there by Jason Kennedy. Goes to half forward. Now another kick inside 50. Going towards Rafferty. With it. Oh, he's taken it. He's in the middle of 2 Lions defenders. So he's been able to take the mark on his chest. And he'll go back from about 30. Up against the boundary line on the outer side.
I think Greenoff's winded amongst other things. You might have copped one of the you-know-whats by the look of that.
Tell you what, the luxury of having Josh Rafferty be able to go forward here instead of playing in the ruck all year.
So Rafferty to extend the margin to 13 points. He's pushed it across the face of goal. 1 behind. So it's 4-2-26 Deer Park. Trail Altona 5-4-34. We've gone 4 minutes, second quarter.
They've stopped the run. They've stopped Deer Park's run, Altona, from Deer Park's half-back line. They've really shut up shop and really applying themselves to be negative in the spread that Deer Park have got. Good work.
So Kennedy goes beyond the defensive 50. Hand pass comes quickly back. It might be turned over. Gallagher under pressure underneath. He'll be balled up. Forward of the far side wing for Altona. They're pressing hard. They lead by 8 points. They signal the 2 rucks.
Breeze has dropped 2 boys.
At the foot of the pack, umpire circles and he pays holding the ball. It's going the way of Altona. Taken by Geordie Robbins. He can put them deep into attack. He does so. It's a penetrating kick to the pocket. Rafferty's got the city. Had to fly from behind. Yeah. Gallagher stood in his way and took a courageous defensive mark. You had to have think Rafferty would have made good his miss earlier from a similar spot had Gallagher not intercepted that one. They go across the face of goal. That's not his greatest kick. It falls in the lap of Quick. There's a whistle off the play.
Free kick.
There's a bit of hoopla down at half forward.
It's a Deer Park or Altona's way.
Free kick's going to Altona, I think.
I think Chrissy Stewart is right up the other end of the ground there. Chris Stewart and is it Nathan Leslie? Jade Post, was it?
Yeah, well, though Nathan Leslie was in the vicinity.
Yeah, but it's going to be a near on certain goal here for Altona.
So Shields has the footy for Altona. He's about 15 out. I think he's directly in front.
I think Potter might have been involved in that, Kev. He's straight off the ground. Yeah.
So after A very strong start from Deer Park in the first half of the opening term. Altona, you must say, got the better of the Lions at this stage.
Mark Bullen was very critical of the team giving away cheap free kicks.
Leslie shouldn't be an issue, and he guides it home. 6-4-40 to 4-2-26. It's 14 points. And the enthusiasm reverberating around the Vikings players.
Yeah, good finish by Brett Shields there it was, boys. Great finish in the end. To kick that one, even though, you know, wasn't far out, but under a bit of pressure.
Puts them in a strong position.
Game high, 14-point lead to the Vikings now.
Just the ball use, the improvement in the ball use, and once again, Josh Rafferty going forward, they're able to kick the ball that 30, 40 metres long to a leading hard target, and also Mitch Turnbull in there behind him, so it makes a big difference.
Paget and Comatai do the ruck work. It's Paget with the hit out though. Now the clearance is going to go the way of the Lions through Van Reek, kicks it to half forward, bouncing ball, Greenoff direction, post leads into the ball. He's wrapped up by Bruin, ball still in play. Gallagher charges through, met solidly there by Kennedy. However, throw it in front of the scoreboard, which reads Deer Park 4-2-26, Altona 6-4-40. 7.25 minutes gone in this second quarter. Greenoff gets the hit out, did well. Bruin left foot, goes inside 50. McCarg in front, takes the mark. About 40 out, pretty much directly in front. Just a quick kick inside 50. McCarg doing the right thing as a forward, playing in front. Took the mark uncontested.
Just got that body in front of Lee Spiteri there, didn't he, Willow?
Yeah.
Right time. Had a great season, been playing up in Darwin in the off-season. McCarg and Jack Burton-Smith, so it'll be nice and fit.
So McCarg, Barry Priest medalist from 2016, goes towards goal. He's put it through. His first of the afternoon. Deer Park's fifth, and they trail now by 8 points, 5-2-32 to 6-4-40. We're just gone over 8 minutes of the second quarter.
That breeze is just going a little bit more across the ground now than it was earlier in the piece, boys.
I must ask, we know they've scrapped the third man up rule in the AFL early stages of this season. Has it filtered down to this level? Because I've noticed the ruckmen have been putting their hands up to say we're contesting this contest, every throw in, every ball up.
Too, Pep, I'm not sure.
I wouldn't have a clue, Peppy.
Well, it looks that way from the restart. McCarg dives in, gave it to Van Reed, he lost it. Now Kennedy to Robbins, Altona will go forward. The kick went under the knees of Comatai. Now in there was Rafferty, got the hand pass over the top to Shields. He was a little sloppy with it, back to Rafferty, out the back to Kennedy's, marshalling things through midfield. Kicks to 4-4, they get themselves as a push, a clear push, a player the advantage, and it's a goal. Cavallaro steers through another. He's got two, and the instant reply sets the margin back at 14 points. 7-4-46 the Vikings, the Lions 5-2-32.
Gee, I tell you, Nathan, Mitchy Turnbull there, great courage. It was a big push too. I thought he hurt himself badly there, but he's up and he's about. But great awareness from Cavallaro to
Cavallari.
Sorry, that's right. To be switched on straight away to take advantage of that and get that goal through. So great work there to Altona.
Well done, Cavallari with the goal there. Ball back in the middle.
Haven't got you on the list.
Paget got the kick away. Free kick for holding. It's going to go away to Shannon Burns.
That was clarification from the umpiring department. We have adopted the third man up rule in this competition, so the ruckmen are to nominate themselves of who's in the ruck, and it's exactly the same as you see on the AFL.
There you go.
Jeff Tressiter and Mark Westgarth from the umpiring department are here today, so just got the official word from them.
Burns goes to half forward, finds McCarg. No, he dropped the mark. He's in a one-on-one with Kennedy there. Now he's wrapped up. Free kick going away. McCarg in the back against Kennedy. Might have been a bit lucky there. It's probably about 70 from goal. McCarg plays on. Kicks to full forward. Need a mark there. And it's been taken. Kondos takes it. Jaden Post almost got a fist to it. But Kondos in front took the ball down low. He's kicked it from directly in front, about 15 metres out.
Jack Burton-Smith has just gone to the bench for Deer Park. He did have his one of his, I can't remember if it was right or his left, to be honest, his thumb and index finger taped up at quarter time.
Kondos goes for goal, made the goal umpire work a bit, but he's put it through. His second of the afternoon, margin back to 8 points again. Altona 7-4-46, lead Deer Park 6-2, 38, 11 minutes gone, second quarter.
Well, Nathan Leslie there just before just seemed to get under the ball a little bit too much and allow Kondos to come through, as you mentioned, post down there as well, but Nathan Leslie just couldn't get his hand to the football there. So well read in the end by Kondos and just squeezed that goal in. Trying to see Kelly Pickard just come onto the ground there, just trying to see where he's gone. He's gone out to Big Potter, who's lined up at centre forward. Rookie of the year last year, first year, best year player, young player.
Rafferty slapped it forward, but it came the way of Shannon Burns. He worked the 1-2 with McCarg, and then there's a high hit on Abu Zaid as he found the footy in his hands. He'll take the free kick. He'll kick towards half forward. It's a 2-on-1. They should have it covered, the Lions. Missing it, though, was McKenzie. He has to track it. It was tapped out of play. They want to deliver it. It's not forthcoming from the umpire. It'll be thrown in. 50 metres around from the Vikings goal. Up they go. Rafferty went down to Robbins. Gave it off to Kennedy. Now to Manavong. He fumbled at the crucial moment. Regathers. Brought to ground. Holding the ball. No. The umpire will ball it up instead. And they still have a chance. Deep in the left forward pocket, Paget won it down, spills to Ismail of the Lions, and it's locked in. Another throw up. Got lucky there.
Julie Robbins probably could have had a shot himself there before. He's under that left foot.
With some slick hands, up they fly. Greenhoff won it down. Over the top, Van Reet, the hand pass from Tester. Now he kicks the lines beyond defensive 50. Up they fly. Potter had it fisted away from him. Post drives his opponent into the ground with intent. And the bounce.
It's a good game of footy, this one.
It is. There's a bit of spice. There's a bit of everything in the game at the moment, so it's great to watch.
Greenhoff wins it down. He's beset upon by a couple of Vikings. Comes out to Abu Zaid Adam off the top.
Manavong in space.
Kicks inside 50. It's downfield. It was sloppy defence from Ismail. It didn't need to happen. He knocked Joshy McDonald off his kick with plenty of time afterwards too. And they're flying the flag, Altona, as Mark Paget lines up from 20 out straight in front. They'll love this one if this goes through.
This is a bit of the Altona during their premiership year and the success they had. They had that little bit of support for each other and a bit of aggression shown. It's good to see. Good to see.
Mark Paget. He kicked it like a ruckman and it snuck in from behind. 7-5-47 to 6-2-38.
You got to love the over 6-footers, don't you? Not real smart. It's not all of them, but some.
Greenhoff, one of those 6-footers you spoke about, takes the mark, right half back for the Lions. Kicks in the Potter direction from the backwards post. He knocked it down. It was perfectly placed and they can go forward, but it's chopped off. No, spilling the mark there was Tester. It comes out the back. Cavallaro's there. Greenhoff, it spills to him. Throws it on the boot. Kicks the Lions towards half forward. At the back post again. Strong use of the body. Takes the mark. Now he's got Rafferty through midfield. Uses him. The hand pass comes out towards McDonald at the back. He sets himself. Couldn't take the mark. Onto it again. Got in the way of Robbins. In there was Kennedy. Lions with the free. Here's another free kick.
Jeez, he reads it well.
Very. Jason Kennedy. Too high. McDonald will win the 50. He'll be marched to the goal line. And there is plenty going on out there.
As I said, Joshy McDonald's a pest. He is a pest of a football, but you love to watch him because he gets under the skin of opposition, the Geordie Mead type, and he finishes off so well. He normally comes up the winner.
Well, this pest in his Division 1 debut kicks his second, and he kicks Altona to a 15-point lead. 8-5-53 to 6-2-38. We're halfway through the second term.
Tell you what, once again, very impressed. Altona have gone in to fly the flag for each other again there. They're looking after, younger guys. He's only 21, young McDonald. So they're looking after their younger brigade and looking after each other. Really love the way they're going about it.
So 15 points the margin in favour of the Vikings. 16 minutes gone, second quarter. It's been goal for goal since the 8-minute mark. All goes to plan. Deer Park will get the next one. Thrown back up now. No Russ get the hit out. Burns though does the crumbing. Goes around the body to half forward. Spiteri leads his race to the ball. In there where was Potter, tapped it down. Looking for Testo. He's wrapped up in a big tackle. Post there, does the tackling. Pack forms. Ball up. About 80 around for the Deer Park goal.
Just a couple of the younger guys at Deer Park just taking their eyes off the ball at that last split second. Nerves, they're only kids, but they've got to apply themselves, head over the football as hard as can be.
Clearance, there goes the way of the Viking, goes to half forward, Turnbull in front, but was the spoil. Van Reet does the crumbing, got the handball to Tester. Now the ball in dispute, Williams does the tackling, and the ball spills out of bounds. Pretty much centre wing on the broadcast side of the ground here, John McLeod reserve. 15-point lead to the Vikings. Play gets restarted. Ball spills to the front. Malay's pushed off it. Ismail did the pushing. It's out on the full. Was unlucky there.
It was a bit unlucky.
Malay, the free kick going to Ismail.
Clipped his boot after he got pushed off the football.
It was a fair shove too, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So Ismail goes to half forward looking for a marking contest. Stewart was taken out of it. He's hit the free kick, I think.
Just about to say too, I didn't see the free kick, Stewart, there. Obviously it was there.
He was bumped out as he was running.
But Jaden Post got his hands on that ball again then. His last 5 minutes has been a huge good sign for this Altona side. He's taken a good mark, had a real positive defensive punch before.
Big tackles as well.
Free kick. Yep, this is good for them.
So Stewart goes towards goal. And he's pushed it across the face. It's through for one behind. So the former captain hits the score with a behind. Lead 14 points. Altona 8-5-53. Deer Park 6-3-39.
Kennedy finds Lunardi in the right back pocket. He's got Stewart standing the mark. Sets it high to the wing at the front. They fly. The mark's taken by Collis. Summers couldn't quite get there to affect the contest.
Jack Purton-Smith just going into the rooms at the moment. Kevin mentioned earlier on he had his thumb pretty heavily strapped.
He's taken the strapping off and he's going in, I reckon, to have it restrapped during the half-time break or to check if he's got a break in the thumb, I would think.
Geez.
By the look of the way he was holding his arm then.
Oh, Gallagher filled the hole beautifully. Couldn't take the mark. They all dive on top of him. He'll be thrown up on centre wing. Broadcast side of the ground. Altona leading by 14 points. There's plenty of flair in this one. There's a shepherding free kick. Advantage paid. McHarg pounced on the footy. Runs to 60. Sets it towards the hot spot at the back. Juggling mark.
Kondos.
And open goal. Kondos kicks it.
Experience against the youth there. Young Pickard, Kondos got him under the football enough to get his hands on it, and Pickard just couldn't get himself back into that contest there. Too strong. Jimmy Kondos, that's his third, and that's the job they've got him doing down there, the role that that Favola bloke had last year down there as a big strong forward, and they've had in the past Jimmy Kondos down there, so he's doing their job. They kick long in trouble. If they're in trouble, Deer Park, they'll go long down there knowing that either a Kondos or a Stewart are going to compete and contest.
When's Jace Perkins due back?
Hopefully maybe next week, I think, 1 or 2 weeks. We've got the Easter break maybe in 2, so it just makes it a bit more potent then.
So back in the middle, Greenhoff with the tap out, puts it in front of Summers, can't quite run onto it. Gallagher at the bottom of the pack there. Van Reet tries to charge his way through, got his hands free, got Summers, he did a good handball there to King. Greenhoff off the ground, goes inside 50, picked up by McKenzie, handballs really to no one. Greenhoff does some buttering up work, no good there. Lenardi's kick smothered. Ball half forward for the Lions, spills out the back. McHarg, handballs back to McKenzie on his left boot. Overdid the kick. Spiteri takes the mark uncontested.
Tell you what,
Rafferty's hit then? Is that what you're looking at?
Trent Rafferty for about 30 seconds there. He let 3 Deer Park players.
He let Leaky Summers know.
Oh, yeah, he let him know that
You're
there's a
watching when I was
contest.
watching.
Oh, yeah. Bang. Spiteri stuff.
Jack Purton-Smith back, but he hasn't, there's no taping on either of his hands there.
So the switch is on. Pickard on the outer side, goes to half forward. Oh, sorry, centre wing looking for Leslie. And he got his hand out. Wasn't a great kick, and we'll have a throw in centre wing outer side.
Just can't lapse here, Altona. 21, 22-minute mark coming up in the second quarter. They can't lapse here and let Deer Park get another 1 or 2 goals on the board. They've got to continue playing this aggressive, attacking football.
Potter with the hit out. Lenardi handballs, misses post. Summers does the handballing. Handballed into no one in particular. Lenardi follows up in front of the scoreboard, gives it back to Steve Kennedy. Now he's forced long down the line. It's Van Riet. All well done there by Shields. Got a fist on it. Stop Van Riet taking the mark on centre wing. So we get another throw in on the outer side at centre wing.
Probably been the best red time team in this competition's history that we've seen, Tomsy, in 15 years, I reckon, Deer Park.
Yeah. This is, the next 3 or 4 minutes are liable to kick 3.
Yep, this is where they put teams away.
Robbins got the clearance to Payton, goes to half forward. Jason Kennedy takes a mark uncontested on his chest at right half back.
So a bit of a stalemate at this point. The kick into the middle, it overshot Burns and allows the Vikings in, but Greenhoff pounced, gave it back to Burns, and then he was brought to ground in the centre of John McLeod Oval. We'll have it thrown up. Paget and Greenhoff fly. They each had a share of it. It falls the way of the Vikings, but it falls back into the congestion again. Another bounce. 22.5 gone in this second term. It's the Vikings by 8.
Still a few Deer Park players not really in the game at the moment. Rhett King's one, hasn't had a lot of impact to this stage. We know that he can lift.
Paddled out, Burns, tackled by Cavallaro, but released the footy beautifully. Comes to Greenhoff, charges through the 50 and kicks a wonderful goal.
That's exactly what we're talking about just before, Kev.
Correct.
Sublime out of the middle from Deer Park, and they're back within 2 points. 8-3-51 to 8-5-53, and you knew they're just never out of it, this Deer Park side. They will keep fighting all day.
Rhett King going to the bench.
Yeah, I hope I didn't moss him there. Sorry, I hope you're not listening.
Yeah, monitoring up there on the Deer Park bench. King, yeah, he hasn't had a kick. Get him off.
Jesus, young Greenhoff, wrapped in the way his football has developed over the last couple of years. Forget being on the Collingwood list. He's playing now great metropolitan football, and that's, in my eyes, that's more important.
Yeah, Greenhoff got another hit out. Now he does his roving as well. He's wrapped up in a tackle. We'll get a ball up.
He's aerobically so much fitter.
Yep. I don't know, maybe they get him into weights and all that down at Collingwood, Kev. Maybe his body was not, he's still only young, and he's just had a free pre-season of just more so the running and the ball work. So you're right, I still think it's the fittest I've seen him in 3-4 years.
Another hit out, Greenhoff.
Well, he's up against a man who's quite significantly taller than him still. He's winning plenty of his share of hit-outs.
Again thrown up, Greenhoff again. Again, Greenhoff did in the roving as well.
Yep.
Deer Park gain another 2 metres. We'll get another ball up. Left half forward.
Just got to stand firm here, Altona. They've got to get the ball back in their hands.
Again, Greenhoff. Got it to his ruck mate and Stewart. Yeah, it's going to be a free kick against Stewart. Don't know what that was for.
I thought it could have gone Stewart's way, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought so too, yeah. It's gone to Rafferty. He goes to the outside, finds post. Centre wing, outer side. Nearly 25 minutes gone in the second quarter. 2-point lead to the Vikings. Post goes to a one-on-one. Bruin on all fours paddles it back to Jackson Kennedy. Now Kennedy's got it back again. Goes back to Williams around the body. Finds Burns, hits him on the chest. Now finds Bruin with a short ball. Finds McKenzie. Now he's on his right boot, goes inside 50, there's Kondos, Spiteri gets back, but the smart play was out the back.
Bang.
And the goal there to the Lions.
Going to go to the...
To Harrison, yes, number 26 there. You can find him on the sheet there, but he's first of the afternoon. as Deer Park retake the lead, 9-3-57 to 8-5-53. 25 and a half minutes gone of this second quarter.
And you know, that was set up, that quick little burst by Burns then, just got that ball moving beautifully.
Got it moving, and also, you know, the foot skills once again of Mackenzie. And look, Jimmy Kondos, he contested. You know, they done everything right, but all of a sudden 2 of them went to the contest there, 2 Altona players, and left the young fella Harrison over the back of the pack there. So they've got to back themselves. If it's going to be a one-on-one, leave it a one-on-one. But well read, and blink of an eyelid, Deer Park back in the lead.
And Burns, just that little burst by Burns just gave his teammate the room to be able to, Mackenzie, to kick that ball, to have plenty of time and space.
Yep.
So Paget wins the tap, opposed to Komatai. It's released out the back. Kennedy's there, he missed it. Cavallaro goes onto it. Hand pass chopped off by Summers. He was driven into the ground by Paget, and the umpire will ball it up.
With that, what you're saying too, Kev, they've got the leg speed. What Burns and that do, they can back themselves to run forward of the contest.
Yep.
Back themselves at full steam to run forward of the contest.
Shields releases McDonald. He takes a dance down the outer wing, takes a bounce, kicks them high inside 50 numbers with the Lions, and they can relieve themselves. The quick kick came from Knight, but it's going to come right back in. Kick towards full forward, went over the back of Turnbull. That's taken
kick by Cavallaro there. Not a good kick. Didn't look, just bombed in long there.
Summers marks it true full back. Oh, the kick was questionable. It's going to work out okay if Shannon Burns can gather. He does. Gets a hand pass away in the nick of time. Quickly onto it was McCargy. Turned Ghost. Ran into trouble. Almost pinged for holding it. They might turn it over. Komatai's there. Gave it to Burns. Slings a left foot snap around the corner. Up towards half forward. Unable to take the mark there was Potter for the Lions, and the Vikings can go forward. Kick up towards Lenardi. Ghosting onto it is Tester. Across half back. The hand pass to Mackenzie. Out wide for Quick, and he's found some space on the outer side. They've done this a couple of times the last 5 minutes. Kick inside the 50. And the mark's taken in there by Jimmy Kondos yet again. And he'll be going back for goal number 4 in the opening half. And after they were significantly outplayed, the lead will be 10 if he can kick this. Out to the right, sets it on goal. It's a good looking kick, it just missed left. The umpire was eyeing it all the way. A minor score, 9-4-58 to 8-5-53, 28 gone of the second. From the kick in, it was a good one. Pickard takes the mark.
Deer Park doing this with virtually no breeze at the moment too, to be honest.
Got to keep the football in their hands at the moment.
Short pass back for Allen. Oh, good use of the body. Worked out okay for Post. Popped it down the outer side. If it sits up, it'll be okay. In trouble. Hand pass back to Post. Running by. It was well done there by Marley. He kicks inside the 50. Up they fly, filling the hole there beautifully. It was Komatai. And he can repel the Vikings for Deer Park.
Nathan Leslie just before their pep and Posty.
Komatai sets it down the broadcast wing. Up they fly. Gallagher went over his head. Pumped back inside the 50. It just bounces out of play on the full. It'll be a free kick to Deer Park. Mitch Turnbull standing the mark. 9-4 to 8-5. Close to the main break. Trent Williams to take it. Plays on. Got close to the man on the mark. Sets it up to the wing. Up they fly. Falls to the back. Leslie was there. Underneath it. Then by Allen. Out the back, the Lions have numbers. Tester with the final possession of the opening half. And it's the Lions who will take a 5-point advantage into half-time. They lead the Vikings 9-4-58 to 8-5-53. Goal scorers in this first half. James Kondos has 3. Singles to Greenhoff, Burns, Gallagher, Potter, McCarg and Harrison for Deer Park, while for Altona, 2 each to Robbins, McDonald and Cavallaro. Singles to Kennedy and Shields.
Great couple of terms of our football there. Very even game here at the John McLeod Oval. We'll be back on 88.9 Win FM just after this short break.
You're listening to the WRFL Match of the Day, thanks to Bridgestone Tyres, St Albans and Hoppers Crossing, proud sponsors of 88.9 Win FM.
We've always been driven by it. To bring home to Melbourne what's happening live as it happens. Every night we're live at 6. To know what's happening, you've got to see what's happening. You can rely on 7 News.
Proud supporters of the WRFL and 88.9 Win FM. If you're only kicking points with your current home loan, find out how...
Siren sounds. Back in the middle, Greenhoff and Rafferty to do battle. They fly, they each had a share of it. It fell down towards Robbins, got the hand pass away, almost got it back. Now to Lunardi, ducked away from King, it spilt the way of Gallagher. He was tackled by Lunardi, and Kennedy of Altona will be thrown back up.
Cavaliero's one with his 2 goals down there. He started off forward again, so he's one that could, get another 1, get another 2. They just got to mix these goal kickers up, Altona, there's no doubt there.
Van Reet got a high up and under kick after it was knocked down to him by Rafferty. Now they go forward, Altona. The kick inside the 50, beautiful. It was a bullet from Robbins. And inside the 50, mark has been taken by Collis.
He started off well, didn't he? Started off this, started off the game well, Collis.
Yeah.
Couple of good grabs in that first 10 minutes. So, he could be another one up forward that we've seen him do some very good things over the years.
Burton Smith's on the ground in the forward pocket with a glove on.
So Sean Collis, a behind to his name today. This looks nice off the boot. It's not going to fall all the way. It was fisted through for behind in the end. Maybe not his best connection. It's back to 4 points. His second behind for Collis. It's 8-6-54 to 9-4-58. Kennedy with the kicking in duty, sets it high to the wing. Oh, Cavallaro flew in front of Burns and brought down the mark. That's a strong statement at left half forward. He sets it up to the hot spot. Up they fly at the back. Oh, it was brilliantly done by Kennedy. Kept Padgett out of it. Now Rhett King tracks it to the boundary and it'll be thrown in.
Just more on Burton Smith, he's got his right hand taped and his left hand with a glove on, so I'm not sure which one's the one that's sore. Or if he's getting ready to bat.
The old decoy. Spiteri picking him up too. Good contest, that one.
Greenhoff front spot, won it down to Burns. Got the kick towards half back.
This is where Altona have to learn from that first quarter and make sure they don't allow Deer Park to spread as hard as they did.
McCarg running by Stewart. Knocked it down to Burton Smith, who's left as the crummer. I think it's that left hand that might be a little bit sore.
Yeah, I think so.
He gives it over the top. Abu Zaid chops it off. Now Spiteri has to go onto it. Oh, coming quickly was Potter, and he panicked. Well done by Potter, applied the pressure. He wins the free kick on the tip of the centre square. Floats a wobbly ball towards full forward. Oh, misjudged there was Post, and running into the open goal is Burns. The Lions strike first after half-time and lead by 10 points. 10-4-64, Altona 8-6-54, and Shannon Burns kicks his second of the afternoon.
He's been good, hasn't he, Shannon Burns? Just as you'd expect, though, in the right spot at the right time, but his attack on the football and his aggression running towards the football has been fantastic. And we know he can finish, we know the skill level and that, so he's been very, very good.
It's 2 goals this afternoon for Shannon Burns. He's gone 3.5 minutes of the third quarter, 10-point lead to the Lions. Umpire starts play, tosses it up. Rafferty gets the hit out. The free kick's going to be paid. I think it's going to go to Robbins in the middle of the ground. Robbins now looking for, no, it's going to come back over the mark. You love that rule, Tommy.
What do the umpire wait till they're 10 metres away?
Goes short, overdid the kick. Pulls it half forward. Picked up by Lunardi. Handball to Rafferty on all fours. They've turned it over though. Rafferty almost intercepted the handball. Diving in after it was McDonald. Left it behind. Gallagher got the handball. Missed McCarg. Could have been holding, but McCarg keeps running. There's a bit of a mongrel floater inside 50. How will it bounce? Condos in a one-on-one. A bit of holding there. There's a big grab in the jumper against Condos. Umpire didn't let it go. And the ball spills out of bounds in the right forward pocket.
One of the big moves that Deer Park have made too. They've got McCarg in behind the ball at the moment, and that's probably about his 4th possession already in this third quarter.
So the throw in now, Potter with the left hand wins the hit out. Ball's loose, Post got it to Steve Kennedy. Has a bounce running across the face of goal, handballs over the top, finds Lenardi, who handballs out wider to Magna Bosco. He does a clearing kick, but it's going to favour Van Reet. He takes the mark. He moves it on quickly, goes into the middle, finds Quick, handballs back, dangerous handball. Well done, McDonald, wrapped up his opponents, holding the ball, free kick. The way the Vikings umpire calls play on advantage. Collis bombs it to half forward. Kennedy does the spoiling. The coming Doug Turnbull, bouncing ball, rolls it towards goal, and he's put it through. Great goal there by the Vikings, set up by Josh McDonald's tackle in the middle of the ground there. Mitch Turnbull gets his first of the afternoon, lead back to 4 points. Deer Park 10-4-64, Altona 9-6-60, and we've, well, the scoreboard's changed over, can't get the time.
Just about to say, I don't know the advantage there. Collis took it out of the hands of McDonald with a free kick, and just a big bomb down there. But full credit to the big fella down there for Altona in Paget. He competed. You know, he's 6'6", as we mentioned, got his hands first to the ball, and as soon as that fell to the ground, Turnbull, who is such an underrated player, front square and done the hard work to get the ball to drill that through.
So from the restart, back in the middle, both rucks had a share of it. Kennedy was onto it, Van Reet as well. It socket off the ground. Went out there and it favoured Harrison for the Lions, diving in. At the end there was Kennedy as well for the Vikings. It'll be thrown up. Left half forward for Altona. Trailing by just 4 points, 6 gone in this third term. Out the back, quickly onto it was Lenardi. Now off to Kennedy, finding space, plenty of time. His kick was just chopped off by Renking. Got a fingertip to it. It's gathered brilliantly by Collis. It fell in the lap, and running in is Spiteri. He kicks the goal for the Vikings and returns them to the lead.
Jeez, good work.
Here's Malay.
Apologies.
Good work there, Altona. Just their aggression at the football again. It's like they showed during that second quarter. Really working hard. And Jackie Marley finishing that one off. Just once again, just lost their way a little bit again here, Deer Park. Just when they seem in control of the game and get some good passages of play going. Altona just working hard to make sure that they just nullify the attack that Deer Park have got, especially from that half-back line.
So fourth lead, change of the afternoon, puts the Vikings up by 2 points. This play's restarted. The Vikings able to push it forward with McCarg. Runs onto it, tackled, got his hands free, got it to Van Reet. Oh, he's in trouble. Robbins did well there. Handball put Williams under pressure. Tap back goes to Abu Zaid. Now Magna Bosco back to Abu Zaid. Wrapped up in a tackle by Gallagher. Shields does well. We're going to have a ball up centre wing. Broadcast side, John McLeod reserve.
Good pressure. Good pressure, deep Altona there.
8 minutes gone, third quarter. Rafferty got the hit out, but he only got it as far as McCarg. He broke the tackle, high ball to the top to the 50, pack fly, Stewart put the fist up, and now the ball spills out of bounds, where the 50 intersects the boundary line, just in front of the Deer Park club rooms. So 2 point lead to Altona. Play restarts. Free kick's been picked out. It's going the way of Rafferty. Left half back. No, Steve Kennedy. Looking to go the switch. Tries to find Post, does. Quick handball out wide. Now a long ball down the line to the outer side. Looking for a marking target. There's Red King in front. Takes the mark, plays on. Handballs to McKenzie. On his left boot, drives it long. Inside 50. But there's no one home. An uncontested mark taken there by Leslie, right half back. Goes inboard to Spiteri at centre half back. Now he goes out even wider to the broadcast side of the ground. Mark's taken. The Vikings, they're going to use it well coming out to high balls. Allowed Van Reet into the contest. McDonald might have been taken high. Umpire said he was.
Geez, he milked that too. Milked that well, McDonald, but
did.
Good experience there.
So left half-back, McDonald. It's been good this afternoon. Long ball. Looking for Pickard. Used his body well. Created a contest. Ball spills at the back. Still in play. Tester there. And Greenhoff. Greenhoff did well. Got the handball to Williams. His mongrel kick. Oh, bounced under Rafferty. Now it's picked up there by Harrison. Had Summers running past. Goes to half forward. McCarg sticks out one hand. Could have been held by Spiteri. Could have been held again. Spiteri did well. McCarg did even better.
Yeah.
Got the handball to Ismail. Over to Burns. Back to Ismail. Handball into space. Looking for King. Loose ball. King dives onto it. Spiteri comes to help out. Did well. Paddle it towards Malay. And handball's back to Post, and the kick goes out wide to the outer side.
So Jaden Post finds Manavong on the outer side, kicks up towards Turnbull, who leads up well, takes the mark. Forward of the wing, outer side, pokes a kick inside the 50, and Collis comes up to meet it. He plays on, wheels onto the right boot, sets it long, it's going to miss left, is it going to stay in at the back? Almost taking the mark was Padgett, off hands, out of play, it'll be tossed back in, right up against the left behind post, inside 50 for Altona. Leading by 2 points, 10.5 gone third term.
Starting to use the ball a little bit better too now, Altona, at the moment. They're hitting targets further up the ground.
Padgett knocked it goal side. The short pass came out for Bruin for the Lions. The hand pass away. Burns finding space, pokes a kick to the wing, and again presenting is McCarg.
Geez, his third quarter's been sensational so far, Kwame McCarg.
He's providing a spark forward of centre. His kick
Dangerous
wasn't
kick.
great though, it was turned over. But Turnbull left it behind, it falls in the lap. Williams gets a kick up towards McKenzie. Didn't make much of an effort to get rid of it. McDonald had a hold of him. It'll be balled up. Intensity continues to lift, Somsey. Comatai won it down into the hands of McCarg. He was stripped of the footy and pinged for holding it. Well done by Rafferty, the Josh variety, the big ruckman, backwards of the centre. Marauds across half-back, kicks towards half-forward. It's a beautiful kick. It released Manavong, who poked it into the pocket for Kennedy. He took the mark. He was met late, and he'll be marched to the goal line, I think.
Be very close.
Yeah,
yes,
right on it.
He will.
Jeez.
And it'll be a certain goal for Altona.
Young Tester there, just probably no need for that one. I mean, lack of experience, I understand, but just no need for that one. Kennedy well and truly had the mark in his hands there. Mark Bullen will not be happy with that one either. That's a certain goal to Kennedy.
With no one on the mark, he just dribbles it home. Kennedy, it's his second of the afternoon, and the lead is 8 points, 11-6-72. Altona, Deer Park, 10-4-64.
Yeah, just they've got the upper hand at the moment, Altona. Deer Park just now have to probably dig a little bit deeper, start getting the ball into the hands of some of their playmakers. And McCarg, as I said, had a sensational third quarter so far, up to the 12-minute mark, but he's running out of a bit of puff. Purton Smith obviously carrying that hand injury. Burns, they need to start getting the football back.
Toss back up. Shields will run into the ground by Gallagher. Wins the free kick. In the centre of the ground. Goes out wide. Abuzi with the mark. Centre wing out of side. He's looking for movement. He's going to go long down the line to half forward. Ball almost by Cavallaro. Ball spills to Lenardi. He's in a lot of trouble here, but somehow got his hands free. Got it to Kennedy. And then the ball spills over the boundary line. About 50 metres out from the Altona goal on the outer side.
Greenhoff around centre forward at the moment. Got to try and get him back into the play too, Deer Park, if they can. Get him up the ground. Sensational first half of football.
So Turnbull and Comatai do the ruck work. Got it down to Gallagher. Free kick's been paid. It's going the way of the Lions. Not sure what for. It's going to Gallagher. Left half back.
Gallagher's another one who, one of the new recruits, done a couple of really good things early. He's another one through that midfield. Got to do a bit more around the ground.
Yep, finds Van Reet in the goal square. Oh, Kennedy, the forward pocket, quick handball over the top, looking for Summers. Overshot their handball, ball's in a dangerous spot. Turnbull picks up, snaps towards goal, but got the wrong side of the ball. High ball across the face of goal, and the mark's been taken.
Lenardi, I think.
Lenardi took the hangover, was basically on the ground when he took the mark. Got up early.
He That was an odd sort of mark.
It was,
He
wasn't it?
jumped and took it on his chest in the end.
But he'll go back for his first of the afternoon and now to put the lead back to 14 points.
Well, we just spoke at half-time, boys, about the midfield, not just kicking goals as resting forwards, but from that midfield, and Lenardi's one here. If you can get this one, Kennedy's got another to his name, so that'll be a good sign here for Altona.
So Lenardi from about 30 out, 45-degree angle, goes towards goal. He's missed.
Bad. That's bad.
Pushed it right through for one behind. So the lead now 9 points. Altona 11-7-73 lead. Deer Park 10-4-64. We've gone 15 minutes of the third quarter.
Look, it's good to Deer Park giving the young kid a bit of time in the ruck there, young Kamatai, but when you got Stewart and Greenhoff just sitting around that centre half forward area, not involved in the game, till you premier ruckmans, they've got to try and somehow get them involved.
He'll play the far side, Van Reet. Quick drop the mark he probably should have taken. Was fisted away towards the boundary line, and it'll be tossed back into play. 55 around from Altona's goal. Midway through the third term.
Shannon Burns is coming back onto the ground.
From the throw-in, when Altona's way, Kennedy lays the tackle, and another bounce. So again, just a little stalemate on the far side of the ground.
Once again, Rhett King's another one. They need to get into the game somehow.
Komatai held his position well, won it down to McCarg. His hand pass went only as far as Rafferty. He pumps it long in the teeth of goal. Knocked away, Cavalaro's there. Bruin did brilliantly. Hand passes away. They're still in the congestion. Gathered by Cavallaro again. Snapped out of the pack and missed. Ooh, that would have really hurt Deer Park had that sailed through. As it stands, Altona lead by 10.
Geez, Altona have to take every opportunity, make everyone a winner, because Deer Park, obviously we know they're not going to go away, and Altona, if they waste opportunities, Deer Park will take full advantage of that.
So Kennedy again works that far side, and working hard for him is McCarg, who's been superb in this term. Really trying to provide a spark for his side. But he's stuck at left half back underneath the scoreboard. He sets the lines high down the far side of the ground. Greenhoff flew early. It was punched away from him. It's a free kick. It comes out the back for Joy. Oh, beautifully gathered there at these bootlaces was Padgett. He had a long way to bend over, but his kick wasn't great.
Maxi Bruin.
Bruin chops it off, kicks up towards it, overshot Greenhoff, and Leslie chopped it off. Gave it over the top. Was looking for Zani. Kicks it up towards half forward. McDonald driven into the ground. Abu Zaid, the beneficiary, kicks towards full forward. Up there they fly. Oh, Cavallaro dropped. It was an uncontested mark. He went again and laid the tackle. Tim Quick's there doing a great defensive job. The dribble from the boundary would have been a miracle. It's through for a behind. And the margin is 11.
Who kicked that one from the boundary?
There's Turnbull off the ground.
It's an opportunistic soccer at best.
Cavallaro should have taken that mark.
Oh, should have uncontested. Yep, they're the ones, the opportunities like that, Altona cannot afford to let go.
So, 11-9 to 10-4. Van Reet with kicking in duties. They're getting a bit stuck in that defensive half at the moment. They need to make the most of this opportunity, Altona, but they've got out the back the lines. McCarg ghosts onto it. He needs someone to hand pass it to, but there's no one forward of him. He goes back to Kennedy, who just stalls for a moment. He's got Padgett trying to run him down from behind, but he wasn't making many inroads. The kick down the wing, a hand pass was gathered there by Jake McKenzie, but he couldn't quite keep it in. Umpire calls it, and it'll be thrown in.
Great defence by the Vikings.
Deer
Park, never seen them play like this before. They're not sure how to go forward, are they? They're looking around everywhere for options.
The first time Deer Park have been in that situation, I reckon. Even in this game, they're struggling. They're struggling to go forward because they're corralling them. There's a chance here.
Off the back of the pack, Harrison. He gave it off to Van Reet, charging through midfield. Kicks inside 50. Kondos had the sit, and he took the mark on his chest.
And then they do that.
Yeah.
Got over the back. Two defenders in front of him, and it just landed in his arms. He'll kick from 20 out in the left forward pocket.
Well, the two defenders there for Altona, they're more watching Jimmy Kondos. The kick from Van Reet probably wasn't supposed to go exactly there, but Kondos watched the football all the way through, straight off Van Reet's boot, and read it much better.
Kondos sets sail, he's missed. Put it near side. It didn't come back. 10-5 plays 11-9. Altona with a 10-point lead.
First score for Deer Park for 17 minutes.
Yep. We're close to time on in the third. Now Magnavosco. It's weird seeing him with short sleeves. He puts them beyond the defensive 50. It was a wobbly kick. It's going to come back. Bruin marshalling at half forward. Pokes one short to Burns. Wasn't 15. Goes back to Bruin. Now ducks away around a tackler. Gives it off to Burns. Did he have space? He couldn't gather it cleanly. Gets around a would-be tackler. Kicks inside the 50. Here he is again. Kwame McHarg floats forward and marks deep at full forward.
Just about to click over that 20-minute mark. That magic time for Deer Park. That breeze has picked up a lot too, boys.
Yep, you can feel it in here too.
It's shifted around a bit. It is blown into the caravan now, and before it was blown away from the caravan.
McHarg has also missed near side. There's not a lot of room to move from that left forward pocket with the wind blowing against you. He misses. 10-6 to 11-9. So they've worked the perimeter. Leslie, he heard the voice and dropped the mark. McDonald did well to mop up at half back. Hamp kicks it up towards the wing. In fact, it was Zani. He's kicking the direction of McDonald. They look alike, those two. I'm going to create an excuse.
Apart from the long sleeves.
Goes across half back. It's taken by Kennedy. They work the far side. Bruin got it from Quick. He can put them deep inside 50. It's another floater. Magnabosco's there. Reaching back was McHarg. Gathered there. Snap to the teeth of goal. Stewart tried to hurl it in. Taken. Hand pass over the top. And McHarg, who was handed an absolute gift from Gallagher, has missed. And another chance goes begging. That's 3 in the last couple of minutes for the Lions. They're slowly making inroads, but only 1 point at a time. 10-7-67 the home side, trailing Altona 11-9-75.
Kwame McHarg's third quarter is as good as you're going to see in Metropolitan football, but they just haven't been able to get that score on the board.
So from the kick in, mark taken by Leslie, left half back. Look to go short. Umpire's called play on now, so he has to go long down the line. Lead a mark down there, and they've got the mark. Cavallaro did well. It was a harder one than he dropped in when he was inside 50 before.
Yep.
He's held up as well.
Plenty of numbers back here, Deer Park.
He plays on, goes to the middle. It's an interesting kick, looking for Lenardi. Had too much on it. Ball spills out the back. McKenzie, can they pick it up though? He's wrapped up in a tackle. There by Shields. Umpire comes in, balls it up.
Like Cavallaro, but geez, his decision making's just pretty ordinary.
Yeah. Yeah, it is at times. Geez, great work there by the Altona player, Brett Shields there. If he didn't get to that contest there, they're away there, Deer Park.
Steve Kennedy did the ruck there, work there for Altona. Almost got the clearance. We'll get another ball up just outside 50 at right half forward for Altona. 8-point lead to the Vikings. 22.5 minutes gone, third quarter. Greenhoff with the hit out. Big pack around the ball. And the free kick's been picked out. It's going the way. Steve Kennedy, I think. It is. Yep. So he's just out, man on the mark, pretty much just outside the 50.
It's that wind Kevin mentioned, it's blown up a little bit. I don't know which way she's sort of blowing now, whether it's coming down towards the Ballarat Road end where they're kicking. If I wrote this, might be right behind him if you get it from left to right.
So distance may be an option, but he's coming in now. We've got close to the man on the mark, kicks towards goal. I think he's got it. He has. That's a brilliant kick. Kicked it about 65. Had the breeze to help him. That was a beautiful kick there by Steve Kennedy. He's got 3 this afternoon. The lead back to 14 points for Altona. 12-9-81 to 10-7-67. And we're close to three-quarter time here at John McLeod Reserve.
Yeah, nice finish there by Kennedy. Just working hard. They've just got to steady here a little bit, the Deer Park, especially down the defence there. They're allowing a few Lenardis, Kennedys, just to drift down, to ghost down, uncontested, even though that was a good contested mark by Kennedy, but letting them to drift down the ground. They've got to grab them from that midfield when they get it.
Greenhoff won it brilliantly down to Burns. His hand pass was knocked down. It falls the way of Gallagher. Gave the hand pass over the top to McKenzie. Charging through. Kicks towards full forward. At the back. McHarg sockers it through.
What do you
Came off hands from Kondos, and McHarg was just perfectly placed. And just like that, they hit the scoreboard finally for the first time in more than 20 minutes. 11-7-73 to 12-9-81. And you can never count this Deer Park side out.
Nah, that was absolutely sensational. You know, once again, Jimmy, full credit to Jimmy Kondos there. The contest, he brought it to ground. I mean, nearly grabbed it a second time, but McHarg, the magic and sheer absolute skill of that man. I tell you, he's kept Deer Park not only in it this third quarter, he's going to give him a big chance for this last to come home.
Plays restart. Kick forward off the ground. Greenhoff now gets a second, tried a third, couldn't get it. Spiteri did well, running out of half-back handballs until Lenardi. Back to Spiteri. Goes out wide for Marley. Marks on the wing on the outer side. He's held up.
Quickie around the ground, boys. Werribee 11-9-75 to 2-5-17 for Wyndham Vale. And Caroline Springs 5-8-38. That'll be 9-10-64.
So ball in front of the scoreboard now. Mopped up there by the Lions, but the poor handball. Shields grabbed it, wrapped up by Van Reet. We'll have a ball up in front of the scoreboard still. 25.5 minutes gone. Third quarter. Deer Park 11-7-73. Altona 12-9-81. Plays restart. Rafferty gets the hit out. Van Reet tried to get a kick away. Didn't get any purchase on it. Ball's now banged inside 50 for the Vikings. Williams attacks it and just bombs it out of there. He put too much on it. It's gone out of bounds. On the full free kick will go the way of the Vikings.
Kev, just that wind out there, mate. Is it blowing down in the Ballarat Road end still?
Yeah, no, definitely down the Ballarat Road end. But yeah, it's fluky at the moment. 1 minute it's probably a good 4-goal breeze, and right now, as I'm speaking to you, it's nothing. So
Magna Bosco took the free kick, bombed it inside 50. Purton Smith trying to get involved. Really struggling with that right hand he is, but handballs, quick handballs by the Lions. Ends up with Ismail, just bangs it out of defensive 50. Picard in space. Now drives it back to half forward. They need a mark. McDonald flew too early. Now it's cleared there by the Lions, and the mark's taken right half back by Purton Smith. Kicks down the line looking for Potter. He's forced to defend. Did well. Handball back to McKenzie. Over to Purton Smith on his left boot. Goes to half forward. Finds Burns. Marks uncontested. Wheels around on his left boot. Looking for McHarg. Oh no.
Great play, Deer Park.
It's McKenzie. Jake McKenzie takes the mark in front of McHarg. They should have, the fence of Altona there should have known Burns was going to play onto his left side.
Yep.
Should have worked the mark a bit better than that.
Yeah, no, look, that was nice and clean again. And they played it in different patches today, Deer Park, but when they are clean and on song, that is very good football. And great work by Big Potter there too. Really set that up. Pickard was in a correct position, but he made the spoil. Potter brought it to ground.
So Mackenzie's kick pushed it to the right, geez. One behind. His first score of the afternoon. Margin back to 7 points. Deer Park 11-8-74. Trail Altona 12-9-81. 27.5 gone of this third quarter.
So a 7-point lead at this stage. Is it enough to hold off a potentially fast finishing Deer Park with the breeze?
Still need to play attacking football here, Altona, if they can.
Lenardi marks just inside the defensive 50, pokes it short. Finds Robbins.
This Jack Purton Smith's got that glove off now, so that right thumb of his very heavily taped.
So just slow movement here from Robbins. He goes down the line to a contest. Plenty of numbers in from the side. They come. Kennedy was there, out to Williams, dished out the back, and the ricocheted kick came from Bruin, bounced off McDonald and went out of play. It'll be thrown in on centre wing. 28.5 gone. This game very much in the balance. That's what we expected. It's a beautiful game of football. Oh, that was a beautiful hand pass out into space from Kennedy. It comes to Shields, sold the dummy, sets it up towards full forward. Oh, creating space. Great use of the body. And the mark has been taken, falling back at full forward.
Tell you what, that was a great mark.
Sean Collis again.
He's shown some very, very good signs today.
And on the cusp, and on three-quarter time, he's kicked 2 behinds already today. Sean Collis must deliver for the Vikings right now. His side leads by 7. He's 35 out, straight in front. Should be a formality, and it drifts left.
Costly.
Just behind, and Altona will lead by 8 at the final change. 12-10-82 to 11-8-74. Goal scorers for Altona. 3 to Kennedy, 2 each to Robbins, McDonald and Cavallaro. Singles to
and they'll grind them down, they believe. So nothing too scientific about it, Kevin.
There never is, really. Let's be honest. What's the number 5 on the number 6? Certainly a message by Mark Bullen given to young Shoaib about what he needs to do in no uncertain terms in this last quarter, and basically talked about the fact that Altona will back their fitness and that, but they just have to back their finesse and get the ball in and start using the ball a little better.
Okay, good call. Well done, Kev. Cade at the Lucas at the huddles at 3/4 time, boys. Good stuff.
To the siren sounds to start the final term. Stewart and Padgett to do battle in the ruck. It's Altona by 8 points. Out of the middle, Altona went quickly. There might have been a high tackle. The umpire said no. Held to him. Ball up. Stewart grapples with Padgett. Won it down. Underneath there was Ismail. Kennedy had a hold of him. I'll do it again.
First goal's very, very important. Yeah, first goal's very important here.
Out of the middle, was well done by Marley. Got it out into space. Ghosting onto it there was Shannon Burns. Out the back, taken there. Inside 50 for Altona. Quickly onto it, all on hands and knees. Hand pass out wide. Williams is there, had it knocked down. Scrambling towards the boundary line. Gallagher's there, driven over the turf. And they're not happy about that, the Deer Park fans. But no malice in it, said the umpire. It'll be thrown in right on the 50 for Altona. We have found that going into the breeze has proven more fruitful in these early stages, so a couple of goals to the Vikings will serve them well. Robbins out towards Kennedy, it missed him. Hand pass to the advantage of a teammate, he might get it back. It was well done. Kick screwed back towards full forward. Collis dived onto it, missed it. On there was King, jumping over the top was Shannon Burns, and Williams raised the tackle. Umpire calls play on it, still loose. Out the back, it's still up for the grabs. Gathered there, hand pass over the top. Now the shot towards goal. Lunardi. The slingshot kick by Lunardi. It's going to fall just out. Oh, again! Cavallaro almost took a sensational mark in the left forward pocket. It spills off his hands and out of play.
Cavallaro is someone who also got spotlighted by the Deer Park 3/4 time huddle as someone they need to man up on. Williams given that job straight away. Around the grounds, boys, Sunshine 7-12-54, Spotswood 7-8-50.
Oh, great game. Great game. One thing Altona can't afford to be doing if they are to win this game is just bomb away. Lunardi could have used the ball a little bit better there. It's all emotion at the moment in the first couple of minutes of this last quarter, but they've got to hold on to it still.
From the stoppage, hit out, went down to McDonald, had a fine shot towards goal.
Great
defence. Rushed through for a behind to lead back to 9 points. Altona's way, 12-11-83 to 11-8-74, 2.5 gone. Final quarter.
Mark McKenzie.
Move it on quickly.
Yep.
Hand pass off. Purton Smith protecting that hand. Gives it up towards Potter, who takes the mark. He's a beast of a man, Potter. Strikes an imposing figure. Floats one towards half forward. It wasn't his greatest kick. Flying from behind was Cavallaro. Goodness, Magna Bosco.
Got there eventually.
Gee whiz. That was not one of my greatest moments. The kick comes up towards Jaden Posey, had it knocked away from him, and Purton Smith can go bounding down the wing. He'll choose the short option for Gallagher. Looks to run by. Gallagher swings inboard, gives the hand pass to McKenzie. Puts the lines, didn't know where to go. Now Purton Smith, it slipped through his fingers. Tied against the boundary, swings one on the left boot towards full forward. McCarg's there, had it fisted away from him. It'll be thrown in at left half forward, about 50 metres out from goal.
Just interesting with Altona rolling right up the ground here. What it's doing too is bringing Kennedy up the ground, Timmy Quick up the ground a little bit. They're not just defenders, they read the play so well, they can set up attack straight away. So Altona better be careful about that. They'd rather see them deeper right on the last line of defence.
It was a brilliant tap from Greenhoff down to McKenzie. Had a clear avenue for goal, but was caught up.
3 loose, Deer Park, aren't they? Half in the middle of the ground.
Yeah, and they're the ones you don't. Kennedy, Van Reit's the other one there. Geez,
Chrissy Stewart's there.
You can't let them get their hands on the football with a quick kick.
Potter sharked it from the contest, kick to the teeth of Galt, spilt through the fingers. Greenhoff was there, Kennedy as well. Well done by Zani, he did brilliantly, gave it over the top. Here's Spiteri storming through half back. He's got McCarg closing in, but he kicked it in the nick of time. Kicked to half forward, McDonald diving back, had the momentum, took the mark in front of Van Reet. He can put them forward. Collis is one out, that's where it's going to go. Filling the hole was quick. Collis never got into the contest. In fact, he thinks he might have been held on to there. But Deer Park can reprieve.
Not a good kick in the end, but Collis was more intent on wrestling with Kennedy. You don't do that. Jason Kennedy, too much experience, too good, too strong. A hot spot, you go to that hot spot, you know your teammate's going to kick it there.
Stewart marks, kicks in the direction of Potter, bounced away from him. Well done there by Post, got the hand pass for Robbins. Potter attacked the footy ferociously, gathered there, and then laying the tackle again is Robbins, this time Purton Smith is dragged off it. Not quite happy with that treatment.
Yeah, that thumb's
no good. He's keeping that out of all.
Yeah, it's very, very sore.
Jeez, he's had some injuries over the last 12 months.
I back it in, it's broken.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt the way it is, the way he's holding that.
Padgett knocks Stewart out of the way and then knocked the footy down. Umpire circles.
Yeah, that's no good. He is no good, Jack Purton Smith, at the moment. In a lot of pain.
Yeah. Bit of push and shove as well. From the throw-in, Stewart knocked it cleverly over the top. McKenzie read it beautifully, gave the hand pass to Gallagher, almost slipped over, got it back towards McKenzie, the hand pass up the wing. Gallagher again, this time seen out of play by Leslie. So they're shutting them down at half forward. The Vikings still no inroads. It's 9 points their lead after 6 minutes of the final term.
Well, some great tactical moves here by Deer Park. Chrissy Stewart in behind the football here is a ripper. They've a couple of times he's contested. He's gone for the ruck thing. He's one of the premier ruckmans, but contested behind the football.
From the throw-in, the free kick's been picked out. It's going the way of the Lions. Greenhoff to take it. He's going to drive it long inside 50. Looking for a mark deep in forward line. Ball spills at the back. McCarg does his own roguing and kicks it from the goal line for the easiest of the afternoon. For his third, he's got 3 goals too. This afternoon, Clayton McCarg lead back to 3 points. Deer Park 12-8-80 trail. Altona 12-11-83. 7 minutes gone, final quarter.
2 of his goals have been like that.
Yeah,
his last 2.
He's just back onto the play so much. You think he's out of the contest, and he's within a split second. He's back onto it, McCarg. Whether he's further up the ground, but in that goal square, that's Lee Spiteri still on him at the moment. It's a bit of a concern. If they get that ball forward, they've got a Kondos to fight with the muscle and that, and McCarg either in the air at ground level. Set themselves up here, Deer Park. Altona have got a lot of hard work here to keep this lead, to go on with it.
Some big names in there. Komatai won it down. Gallagher couldn't get onto it. Instead, the kick comes Altona's way towards full forward. Fisted towards the boundary line. He's going to be first to it. Collis, can he gather his footing? He does. He runs into a tackle. Head first. Not a free kick according to the umpire. He did duck, but that's dangerous stuff. You know what can happen when you get hit in the head like that.
Yeah, she's good work, Kennedy too. Good work, Kennedy, for Jason Kennedy for Deer Park there.
Knocked boundary side, Lenardi throws it on the boot. That's out on the full.
Kennedy didn't lay the tackle. What he did, he ran hard enough at Collis there to force him to try and spin back into the play. And the second Deer Park play coming in then.
Van Reet to take the free kick from against the behind post. He sends the Lions beyond the 50. Stewart flew at the back. Oh, well done by Post to control. He had a couple of opponents against him. He dives in again. Great second effort. Releases Abu Zaid. And pass to Manivong, left it behind. Abu Zaid goes in again. And they're all jumping on top of them, not least Komatau on the top. Matai.
It's a great game of football, this.
Great
game.
3 points in it. As they go again, Matai flicked it through with 2 hands, goes in again, soccers it forward. Was gathered well. There's a good stuff there by Harrison. Now the kick from McKenzie up forward. Leslie did brilliantly against Greenhoff, who tries to keep it in by soccering. He did well, but he merely gave it straight to Leslie, who can poke it. I've nearly turned it over. A little flick of the finger there. And caught in a tackle was Spiteri, gathered by Ismail, gave the hand pass over the top. And another strong tackling effort in defence for Altona. Holds the lines up again. Max Bruin finds himself at the bottom of the pack.
Lee Spiteri was absolutely spent there, because what he's had to do is follow McHarg 100 metres up the ground. McHarg turned and ran at full steam. Spiteri was spent before he had the football in his hand there. He was really labouring.
Greenhoff's second effort from the ruck was good. He fell to ground, was taken by post, turned it over. Kane McKenzie can put the lines back inside 50. He does just that, sets it up in the McHarg direction. He got a couple to beat. It was fisted away, and now off half back. They've got numbers. They're running in waves, the Vikings. Magnabosco was the first in the chain. He goes back to get it. Rhett King did well. Magnabosco finally gets a kick up the wing. Van Riet came hard. Brilliant. Knocked it away to the Lions' advantage. Bruins in again. Spills back to Van Riet. Gets around Magnabosco. Kicks short in towards half forward. And the mark has been taken by Shannon Burns.
Van Riet.
50 out.
Absolutely brilliant young fella.
He's on the right side for a left footer. He sets sail from long range. It's a good-looking kick. It's a goal. Shannon Burns, with a touch of class, puts the Lions back in front. 13-8-86. Altona 12-11-83. That's his third, and it was a big one. 10.5 gone of the final term.
Give that one to the Rocket man at the back.
Definitely. That attack on the football, and you go back 5 minutes to Kennedy. Jason Kennedy's attack on a tackle in that last line of defence. Their intent. Van Riet, Kennedy, Timmy Quick. Their intent. Straight at the football type of players. Hard at it. Just great to watch, and that lifts. That's a big lift. Altona now have to start winning the ball. They've got to win this ball out of the centre here and start controlling the football a little bit. Otherwise, Deer Park could run away with this.
Yeah, Breeze picked up just a little bit.
Opening 2 goals in a quarter, go away of the Lions. 5th lead change of the game, 3-point lead. Ball tossed back up, Komatai won the hit out. Ball's loose, paddled forward right in the leg, tries to go to the Manavon, couldn't get it. Testa did well, got his boot to ball. Then Rafferty just tries to soccer it forward. Left half forward for the Vikings, they're going to have a ball up. Geordie Robbins last to get up.
Altona can't waste any opportunities here. They've got to be clean of everything they do here.
Robbins again, wrapped up by McKenzie, another ball up. It's on the edge of the centre square on the outer side, left half forward. Nearly 12 minutes gone, this final quarter.
Yeah, they've got the +1 player here too, Deer Park. It looks like Kennedy just riding around the back there.
Lenardi with the clearance, inside 50, high ball. Cavallaro in front, but it's picked up there by Kennedy for Deer Park, clearing kick, but kicks it towards his namesake. And Steve Kennedy got around McHarg. His kick goes inside 50. It's a high, shallow ball, flying with Shields, couldn't take the mark. Now picked up by Abu Zaid. Goes around the body towards goal. Didn't bend it enough, and he's missed to the right. It's out of bounds on the full free kick in the left back pocket for the Lions. He got away quick. Caught the play on, drives it outside defensive 50. Cavallaro in best position, was in front, almost could have taken the mark, then got in the way. Robbins now will have a ball up at right half forward.
She's almost could have been paid that.
Agree, got a good piece of it, didn't he?
Yeah.
So Rafferty, Greenhoff do the ruck. Greenhoff got it to McHarg, handball out wide. Pert Smith didn't want to use the right hand, so he had to paddle it with his left and then went with the left boot off the ground. Definitely that right hand is affecting him big time. The ball's still in play. Lenardi fumbles. Picard gets it. Handball's inboard. Big tackle there against Payton. Umpire says, I'll have it. Ball up centre wing.
Obviously, as you can hear, that was wasn't rewarded for Deer Park. The faithful, the fans weren't happy.
They could have been a bit unlucky there too.
Yeah,
he tried to burst his way through.
I agree.
Rafferty in front wins the hit out. Manavong handballs to, unfortunately, to Van Riet. He just bombs at the half forward looking for Stewart in front. Ball spills to the back. Spiteri's there, did really well. Now pumps it back along. Rafferty's going to have to go. Van Riet will be the third man up. Punches forward. There's the Lions with a short ball into space. Can McCarg get onto it? But Leslie did really well. Took the body of McCarg. McCarg did even better. He followed it up. It's called a throw. A bit of a volleyball action there by McCarg. So free kick going to Pickard, right half back. 14 minutes gone now, final quarter. Pickard short ball, poor kick, bounce at the feet of Spiteri. Picked up by Testa. McDonald goes in hard for the Vikings. And it's the free kick. Advantage paid. Rafferty finds Lenardi, plays on. Right half forward, now on his right boot, goes inside 50. Good use of the body by Quick. Did it early. Got his opponent out the way now. McKenzie, left half back, almost threw it out. Lenardi follows up, runs inside 50, time to settle. On his right boot, goes towards goal. Left it short. Jason Kennedy takes the mark, last line of defence.
Oh, it was so close for Lenardi as Kennedy finds Bruin in front of Magnabosco in the right back pocket. 3-point lead to Deer Park, hanging tough.
So Trent Williams won't, well, he's either got a massive hamstring spasm in his right hamstring or he's done his hamstring completely.
Oh, and even Greenhouse pulled up a little gingerly after that kick as well. It goes down the wing. Ismail inside 50. Burns with the back with the flight. Couldn't quite take the mark. It spills to the front. Gathered by Kondos. He couldn't from here, surely. It goes across the face of goal. McCarg misjudged it. He'll probably gather and kick a goal anyway. He snaps. And he overcooked that one quite severely. That's out on the full. Oh, boy.
Jeez, that'd be a scary place to be, one-on-one with McCarg, wouldn't it?
Oh, I'm just thinking that you'd shudder. You'd shudder. I just hope that something goes wrong for him. But in that case, he just miskicked that, but at least Spiteri there, just as desperate could be, but he's an outstanding, he's a champion. Yeah. I mean, McCarg, he is a champion.
Spiteri's been fantastic as well. I mean, McCarg's kicked 3. It's been a great battle all afternoon.
You don't use that word champion lightly either, do you, Tomsey?
No, Michael Frost is probably the only other one I'd consider a champion in this competition that I've seen, but McCarg has proven himself for a long time now.
Ooh, so that kick goes in the direction of Leslie. He did brilliantly, got Stewart out of the way and took the mark. Now he's got Turnbull, takes it at his bootlaces, he's got time. He kicks towards Cavalario, had 2 to beat. He did well to get a finger in there, but Kennedy held onto it.
How good has Jason Kennedy's last quarter been? They've still allowed him, Van Riet, to be the +1 players. They just can't afford to.
He hoists in the Gallagher direction. It sat in the air for too long. Hand pass comes from Lenardi to Kennedy. That went back for Lenardi. It was chopped off by Gallagher. There's a whistle. It's downfield.
Lenardi's free kick here.
Off the ball, was it?
Yeah, off the ball. As the hand pass went out and Gallagher grabbed it, Lenardi hit the deck. Now, I didn't see who was alleged to have been in the vicinity, but he went down like
a bit of strife here.
Bagger, you know what.
I think they're having a go at the young kid there. Altona plays a young bloke from Deer Park in Tester, I think. I think he's around the vicinity, but anyways, no.
It was the funny that it was the umpire off the back of the ball. Might turn the sound effects microphone down again.
Oh, yeah.
We might. It was the umpire who was off the back of the ball rather than the umpire who was actually controlling play who called that one. So he saw it from the angle where he was behind the play, whereas the other umpire was on the angle that we're at, at a side-on angle, so he didn't see it. So.
Well, the thing with it, there's been no send-offs, so the umpires obviously seemed happy within the law, within the rules, but still down at the moment, Trev Lenardi.
Well, Trev's not the sort of player who stays down or who feigns injury of any description.
Interesting to see Steve Kennedy's grabbed the ball too for Altona with the ball in his hands.
Tony Kenneth, well done.
Yes.
Yeah, good move.
They were two mucking around with it, weren't
well,
they?
he was the one who hand passed it in the Lenardi direction.
He's not well. He's not well.
No. He looked very groggy. His legs were flailing around a little bit before. He did not look well at all.
He's not standing well.
No.
He'll be all right, though.
He'll be,
his 7 million Twitter followers will know about it later. And was admiring during the second quarter. We were having a chat, Trev and I was admiring his new tattoo work on the right arm. He's got quite a fair bit of work done there on the right arm.
So Kennedy has to kick this. It's kind of essential. 30 out, right in front, misses.
Oh, jeez.
Gee, some chances have gone begging. they do reduce the margin. It's back to 2 points.
Well, the good news is he's running off, which is good.
So short, Van Reet to Kennedy. Goes down the wing for Bruin, who's found a fair bit of space, quite a bit today. Kicks up towards the wing. Potter was there, gave it to Gallagher, had to backtrack. Goes back to Potter. Hand pass over the top. Gallagher's going to get it back. Potter kicks inside the 50. McHarg's there, couldn't get back. It falls the way of him again, and he snaps. Oh, it falls off. Hands it through from behind. It was unlucky. Harrison almost had his hands on that one. Not to be a minor score. 13-9-87 to 12-12-84. And we're very close to time on. 19 and a half gone in the final term. Altona put it down wire. Yeah, post held on to. He'll take the free kick on centre wing. He pokes one short. Oh, Stewart almost intercepted it. It was taken by Robbins. Corralled by McKenzie, but he kicks inside towards the half forward. Kennedy puts it towards full forward, hands in the back, almost there by but Padgett takes it.
He's got it, the big reach.
Perhaps a touch unlucky not to receive a free kick, the Deer Park defence, but Padgett will have a shot at goal.
Missed from a similar spot, didn't he, early in the game?
I'm sure it'll be in the forefront of his mind, but he has to kick this. If I were him, I wouldn't waste much time. I'd get on with it.
Yeah, don't think about it.
Don't think too much.
Don't think.
Just go back and kick it.
That wind has just picked up as he's walking in.
Here he comes. The kick from Padgett. Here's a goal. The umpire did not move. And the big man kicks his first goal as a Viking. He puts them in front by 3 points. 13-12-90 to 13-9-87. We are 21 minutes into the final term.
Yeah, good football. Geez, just the bit of looseness in defence there from Deer Park. First of all, Robbins with that freak, or the mark, nearly intercepted, as you said, by big Chrissy Stewart. But Kennedy, Steve Kennedy, allowed to be all by himself out there. Just got to tighten that bit up.
Stewart into the ruck now for the Lions. From the ball up, we're going to have a pack for them. We're going to have a ball up. 6 lead changes this afternoon. Biggest lead being 14 points, or 15 points.
Be happy if this is the standard all year, boys.
Oh yeah, this has been a very, very good game of football. Round one,
Stewart,
very good, very tough.
Zani with the clearance, goes in the post direction, looks like he's moved forward. Quick's got the job on him. Gathers now post, forced in a tight situation. He's kicked it out of bounds on the full free kick.
Lenardi's ready to come back on too, boys, very keen to get back on the ground. Thought Jaden Post might sneak down forward in these last few minutes.
Tester will take the kick, left half back. Goes long, Stewart direction, did well, took the mark. Pickard's fist didn't get in there in time.
A bit stronger than that, Pickard.
And Stewart with a bit of a floater goes towards half forward. Greenhoff on the falls, paddle it to Bruin. Outside 50 now, goes out to the outer side, looking for Burns, takes the mark on his chest, and he'll kick from just outside 50. Shannon Burns got one from this spot earlier in the quarter.
McDonald coming off and Lenardi going back on.
So again, another big kick. 22 minutes gone of the final quarter. Burns comes in, kicks from just outside 50. Goes towards goal, and he's kicked it under duty.
Sensational, Shannon Burns.
Shannon Burns with goal number 4 of the afternoon, puts Deer Park back in front. 14-9-93 to 13-11-87. 22 and a half gone, final quarter.
Geez, he's had an outstanding game, Shannon Burns. 4 goals, but around the ground, the work that he's done around the ground, and when he's had the football in his hand, the ability, which we know he can, to excel with his leg speed has just been phenomenal today.
Jack Purton-Smith's got his own ice pack on that right hand.
23 minutes gone. 3 points the Deer Park lead. Cleverly knocked down to advantage by Stewart into the path of Ismail. Knocked away there by comes the way of Bruin. He could finish it here. Right foot check side, bends it through.
There's Maxi Bruin, well done.
A couple on the bounce to Deer Park, and the Lions lead by 9. 15-9-99 to 13-12-90. be tough to come back from here now for the Vikings.
Yeah, we'll just, you know, once again, a blink of the eye. Blink of the eye and Deer Park just power away. So quick, once they break out of that centre there, and the contest there with Ismail and Steve Kennedy was the big one. Kennedy couldn't trap the ball to hold it. Ismail just kept it going forward.
Back in the middle. Stewart this time wins it down again. Ismail direction, socket off the ground there by Magnabosco. Got it out in front of Abu Zaid. Oh, Van Reet just charged past him, knocked him over, picked up the ball himself, then got tackled. Got the hand pass away in time. McHug's hand pass wasn't great. It worked out okay though. It's gathered by McKenzie, pokes a kick into the middle. Poised stuff off half-back for the Lions. Comes the way of Greenhoff, his kick out wide. Bruin, strong mark. Oh, he must have dropped it when he hit the ground, and now pinged for holding the ball. Gee, that's stiff.
It is a bit. It is
still.
A bit.
They'll come up with it, the Vikings. Left half back. Need to make something happen. Close to the 25-minute mark. Kicks towards half forward. Again dropping the mark, Cavallaro, and he's given away the free. The fans are happy about that one. And they can reset from half back. The long kick up towards half forward, the Greenhoff direction at the back. He took it.
Yeah, great
That's
grab.
Beautiful from the big man. So versatile. He had plenty of company in that pack. Puts the Lions inside 50. Burns is there as the crummer. It's out in front of Kondos. It bounces off hands and out of play.
Yeah, look, this will now be a good win. Great win, actually, for Deer Park. They've been tested again today. Obviously, there's a lot of change in personnel this year, but they've stood up at the right time. The kids for this run, the younger guys in this side, will gain a lot of experience out of this.
Thrown back in, about 25 out from the Deer Park goal. Rucks, no effect on the play there. Steve Kennedy gets it, handballs over the top to Turnbull. Clearing kick out of defensive 50. Mark taken by Abizid. Goes inboard. Good kick, Lenardi, quick handball. Steve Kennedy has a bounce, tried to get past Bruin. Broke the tackle, back to Lenardi. He has a bounce now, running through the centre square, goes out wide. Looking for Marley, but Testo in front. Did real well there, the first gamer.
Yeah, well done.
Now he finds McCargan, centre wing, broadcast side. Kicks down the line, looking for Potter. The boundary line beats both of them. They'll have a throw in, about 70 out from the Deer Park goal. 26.5 minutes gone. Quarter might go for 1 or 2 minutes longer after Lenardi went down early in the quarter. There's still a bit of time left for the Vikings. Thrown back in. Padgett gets the hit out, but McCarg rose. Handballs back to Bruin. He just mongrels a kick inside 50. King direction. Rafferty there. Fisted away though by the Vikings defence to half back. Ismail off the ground. Burns went without it. Pack forming. Rafferty wrapping up. Spiteri there with the tackling. And we're going to have a ball up. At 60 out from the Lions goal at centre half forward.
Just need to throw everything at it now. Altona risks rather go down by a few more goals and not give themselves a chance here. Run off every line here.
Rafferty with the clearance to centre wing. Diving after it is Cavallaro. Still there with Cavallaro. Two Deer Park defenders dive in. We'll have a ball up centre wing out of side.
Final score, boys. Caroline Springs 8-16-64 have gone down to Albion 12-10-82.
8-16. So Shields did really well from the clearance there. Drives it towards half forward in the post direction. Bouncing ball quick on his tail. Boundary line beats them both, and we get another throw in.
Once again, the way they've set up again Deer Park, if Jaden Post had have got that, you had Jason Kennedy and Rod Van Reet in behind the football there, 30 metres out from goal. So they get the plus two sometimes players Deer Park into that in the right position. Some great experience there.
Stewart just belts it out of defensive 50. Did real well with Bruin. Centre wing it goes long down the line to Burns direction. Picard does the spoiling. Ball still in play. There's 3 Vikings there. One line, it's Burns, and Burns does really well. Wraps up, and we'll have a ball up just right next to the scoreboard, which says 28.5 minutes gone of this final quarter.
9-point lead. They need a couple to snatch it. The Vikings from the restart. Again, Spiteri doing the tackling on McHarg, and they'll do it again. About 70 metres around from the Lions goal. Knocked down to Bruin. He was tackled, dropped it on the boot, partially missed it. Rafferty got the hand pass out. Releases McDonald. He runs the outer side. Kicks them down the wing. Van Reet almost got in the way, but he missed it. Overcommitted. But that'll do it. The siren signals a big first round win for Deer Park. They were certainly challenged by an Altona side that will be there or thereabouts come the end of the year. 9 points the final margin. 15-9, 99 to 13-12, 90. Goal scorers in the end. Shannon Birds led the way for the Lions with 4. James Kondos and Kwame McHarg kicked 3 each. And singles to Greenhoff, Gallagher, Potter, Bruin and Harrison. While for the Vikings, 3 goals to Kennedy in his first game back at home. 2 to Robbins and McDonald, and also Cavallaro. Singles to Paget, Shields, Marley and Turnbull. A 9